How are we doing, Skywatchers? We've got a few clouds tonight, but it is meant to clear for us. So get ready. Let's wait for these clouds to pass, and we're going to be doing our UFO UAP Skywatch live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of crop circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. So there should be lots of strange things for us to see once those clouds pass. We can see a few stars poking through. So behind those clouds, there will be some wonderful things to see there. Inspector Morse is in there. Jeffro is in as well. Jeffro, yeah, Alan, do you want to beam up, Jeffro? Trevor as well, got your scope out tonight there. The moon is looking good. I can't see the moon tonight. But maybe it is the clouds. There's Stewman as well. And Gandalf, is raining where you are. So we're not due rain, we are due clear skies, but I think we've got to avoid just a couple of these clouds there. Evening as well there, Mark, and Super as well, and Liberty, good to have you in. Blue Nose too, almost missed you there over on the TikTok. It was a bit quieter there. Good to see you. How did your weekend go? So guys, yeah, we're looking out for UFO, UAP in the night sky, live here from Wiltshire in the UK, right in the heart of crop circle country, and just down the road from Stone Henge there. Dordal is in, and M to the C. So yeah, waiting for these clouds to pass. They are moving, and it is due to be clear, and we can already see a few stars on the horizon, so hopefully that's going to get much better for us. In fact, let me see if I can tweak the settings a little bit more to see if we can get... no, we've got to wait for them to go, I think, tonight. But yeah, let's see what we can spot. We've had a good run of clear skies, so a couple of questionable ones aren't too bad. The rest of the week is still looking clear for us, so we're going to have lots of sky watches coming up over the next week. As if it all holds, you never know with the weather, but a little bit cooler is never a bad thing. Where are we there? Janie is in too. Do say hello as you're joining there. Let us know what you're all watching from tonight there, and if you've had an experience with a strange anomalous, we'd love to hear about that as we're waiting for the action to happen on screen. So the clouds are in the way, makes it a little bit less interesting and not seeing all the stars, but it doesn't actually stop us from doing any hunting. Things that are within our atmosphere should still be very, very visible to us. So in a way, oh look, you can even see, don't know if you caught it there, there's a bit of movement just come through the cloud there. So yeah, we can still see things. You need to pay attention. There's no point putting the tracker on just yet. Might spin the camera around, see if there is a clearer patch of sky there. And all that random, how are you in from Worcestershire? Good to have you in. How are your skies tonight? Where are we in over on the... Astra is in there, Ben as well, and watching from Essex, Denise there. I do love a bit of that. Dord as well, thank you for the gifts, appreciate that. All goes back into the stream, help us improve what we're doing, and the likes there, the hearts coming in, it is those likes and shares said that help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves, and the more eyes and minds we get on the odd phenomena, the more we can all piece this puzzle together. And Mark from Devon, I like that. Not too far from us there. Phoenix as well, how are you doing? Good to see. Are you all in? Oh, that cloud's getting a bit thicker. Right, should we spin the camera around? Let's see if we can catch a little bit more of a gap. You never know until you spin it around if there's a nice clear patch, but it is due for us tonight to be really clear. I think it's taking a little bit longer for the cloud to pass. Yeah, look, you can see the gaps coming through, so it's a little bit thinner over there, but let's spin ourselves around a little bit more. Hold on. We're going to get there. It's going to get there. Ooh, it's thinning over this part of the sky. Yeah, let's settle on that one at the second for now. I'm sure it will thicken up. But yeah, hopefully, as planned, they will clear there. And Dan and Lola, how are you doing there? I just see a shooting star or something in London and caught it on the Ring camera. Now, that is very cool to catch it on the old Ring camera as well. Did it have... When we get the shooting stars, the easiest way to tell with those is because they're so fast, they kind of appear as a whole line on the screen. They kind of fade in as this line and fade out very, very quickly. Not sure on what the Ring cameras will make them look like, because each camera is going to be different. But that for us gives it away there. Mason, how are you doing? And my opinion, again, thank you for the gifts there as well. And all that's random.
Nom nom nom, thanks.
Thank you for feeding Alan there with the gifts. That's very, very kind to be there. So it all goes back into the stream, help us improve what we do. We're currently saving up to take the show on the road, do some live skull watching. It's a different one. Sky watching, but from all of the UK UFO hotspot locations there. I want to kick things off with Rendlesham Forest. So that's what we're working towards at the moment there. Not bad. I'm glad to hear it there. No, all good here, all good as well. And it had the towel, but it wasn't very fast there, and I could see it. Could send it to you if you're like, 100%. Then that would be a really, really cool. I do love to see it there. This is what's happening now, and probably why we're getting more and more disclosure is because people are able to share their experiences, whatever they are. And again, the mainstream narrative to just write it all off doesn't hold up. Now we have access to all of this data. Dan, how are you doing over there on the tubes? And Steve-O there as well. Where are you joining us from? Thank you for the follow. Good to have you in. 200 minutes, in my opinion. I thought it'd be more than that, but well done there. How you doing, Carl, too? Good to have you guys in. So yeah, just joining us, we're doing a live cloud watch at the second there. We're looking out for UFO, UAP in the night sky live over Wiltshire here in the UK. So right in the heart of crop circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. Lots of strange and mysterious things in these skies over the years. Tonight should be no exceptions. All the cloud is thinning out over there. So yeah, we're just waiting for the cloud to properly pass. And also, look how blue the sky is behind it. That is the last bit of daylight. So when that eventually fades away as the sun goes round, we're going to see more stars, more colour, more contrast, and therefore more moving objects there. Mudder as well, how are you doing? Good to see you in. And gonna try and get to Stone Henge soon. I keep saying that I'm just down the road, but I haven't been there since I was a child. I keep meaning to do it for the solstice, so that'd be a good experience there, but I always end up that I am working out of town or away with family or something. Typical. One day though, we want to do a live Skywatch from Stone Henge. It's not part of our UK tour because it's so local. We should be able to do it at some point soon there, but once we've got the kit to do that, we should be able to do it. The main barrier with Stone Henge is that apparently it's really bad signal there, so we have to get a Starlink so we can connect there. But how cool would that be? Like, you can just see the tops of the stones in the shots and just directly above it. Long history of the strange and anomalous over Stone Henge. Lots of crop circles in the neighbouring field, but lots of lights and orbs and weird things seen in the sky there. Have you guys ever done a solstice at Stone Henge? And a few of you once have. And DJ a bad man there, thank you for the follow. Good to have you in. Carl as well, coming in there, feeding Alan.
Nom, thanks, guys.
I love to go there if you do. Oh, well, one day I will organise these things. If I was driving, there'd be no stopping us. We'll be doing international tours and meetups all the time, but it's been a bit slower for me on that front for a good few years now. But I am working to getting back to it there. And Carl coming in with the extra gifts as well. Appreciate that. All of that stuff goes back into the stream there. And is it Kaiser there as well? Do you know about CE5? So I know of it. I know a little bit, but it's not a strong area for me. But it's really, really interesting. And so very roughly, guys, it's this sort of consciousness / meditation connection that can summon in the craft. Apparently, it's probably done a very poor job of explaining it. I know a few of you guys again in our community are into that, and over on our Discord we do have a CE5 section, and I think that you guys that are actually skilled maybe are going to start doing that, and it's going to hopefully encourage some more activity on the stream. So at the minute this is passive. We're looking to the night sky, hoping to see something casually going past on its business, and we do see some very strange things quite a lot of the time. It's a bit of a hot spot right here, but we want to take things a little bit more proactive, so things like CE5 in the group there, but also we are working on another way, which is called, you probably heard, the dog whistle. So the idea that certain tones and frequencies, most of them inaudible to us humans, but they apparently do have a good connection with the phenomena. So we're working on that. We're waiting for a lead to arrive, but once it's done, as I'll show you on the screen, guys, where is it? Is this my, no, that's my other one. This is the dog whistle. So if I turn it on, you won't see the waveforms over on TikTok, but on the tubes you'll see it just down there. So the idea here is with this one you will hear, this is our little test tone, but so yeah, you can all hear that one, but the idea is that we'll be able to play these tones, frequencies, and these patterns that have a history of hopefully summoning in the craft. So along with the CE5 stuff, we're going to be doing this too, and hopefully, yeah, just have a more proactive, see if we can get more sightings. Now, again, you're not going to hear most of the tones; they're mostly inaudible to us. But if you're on the tubes, you'll see the waveforms coming up there. Let me turn the little meter off. So hopefully, yeah, we can start to do all of that stuff. And thank you for the follow there, Kaiser. Where are you joining us from? Where in the world there? TikTok Ram Raiders is in. It's fairly perfect. Thank you. My knowledge doesn't go far past that, really. It's something that really fascinates me, but I want to spend the time to look at it, and I just haven't had that hyper-focus moment to really get into it. The initial idea was, when we do our live on location stream, so not just the tour, but occasionally we go to the Iron Age hill forts that surround the town, Stone Henge, I think it's one of the ones on the list locally, that maybe whilst we're doing it live outside, it might be a bit better to kind of practice that, and it's just never aligned quite right at the second. And how are you doing there, Harko? on holiday. Oh no, we're still on as always there. And X, what did you miss there? Nothing much at the second, just a few clouds. But look, it's clearing. It's looking lovely. It's working out for us, guys. X there and Blue Nose. How you doing, Captain? Thank you, and TikTok Ramroads there for the gifts. Appreciate those guys. And there's a C5 app with a few tones and sounds. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to test that one out. I wonder if we're getting the same ones there as well. And AJ as well. Thank you for the follow. Where are you in from? Tubers, I'll be over to you guys shortly. I'm just finishing up here in the TikTok chat, and then I'll be bouncing across the two of you there from North Wales. Now, I'm going to get the pronunciation wrong there, but one of her tour locations, is it the Berwyn Mountains, or have I totally butchered that as a thing? But there was apparently a crash there back in, was it the 70s, 80s there? And so that is one of the ones that we are very much hoping to visit and do a Skywatch from around there. And oh, how are you doing? You've got the dish now. Is it all set up? And TC Bull, thank you for the follow. Anomalous Miss as well there for the follow to AJ. Staffs like that. How are your skies tonight? Are they staying nice and clear? Have you ever seen anything strange in them? Right, I'm going to quickly bounce back over to the tubes. Where are we, guys? Where did we get to with all of you wonderful people there? Patiently awaiting. What's Dan, didn't we, going in there? And Muddler there. Just sub. Thank you, Mudder there. Do appreciate that as well. Good to have you in. I'll warn you, we're on pretty much every night. So it gets a very sticky community. Everybody hangs around pretty much every night, gets into the routine there. And you're welcome aboard there. Have you ever experienced anything strange? Because we'd love to hear about that whilst we're waiting for the action to happen on screen there. But if you are just joining us, guys, we're doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch, and it's coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. Make sure you're following, subscribe, because as we say, we're on pretty much every night. Clear skies, it's the UFO UAP Skywatch. Cloudy nights, we just turn the brightness up, but we do an alien radio signal hunt. It looks like that. We did one last night, and we're looking out for the strange and anomalous in the night. No, we're looking out for potentially alien radio signals coming in from deep space. And if the moon's up, it looks like that. And seeing some weird stuff on, off, and around the moon too. So good to have you on for that one. And Mark, what kind of equipment are you working with? So this is quite simple on the visual front. It's just a modern sort of digital video camera there, Sony A7 something or other, and just a good lens that lets in a lot of light with a little pan tilt motor there that spins it around. I don't think we're getting much movement a second, but let me turn the tracker on. And what this will do, this should help us identify the moving objects in the night sky and tell us the ones which are actually a little bit anomalous there, because there's going to be lots of movement up there. There are lots of man-made satellites flying around. This time of year, they bounce that sun's light back down to us here on Earth, so we can see them. Oh, that was the tracker going off. Yeah, that's the tracker trying to track some movement there. But yeah, we need some assistance. We need to see the ones that do something strange, that stop dead, shoot off at speed, or change their course or trajectory. And Joseph there, the truth is out there, 100%. It very much is there. And that movement as well. Good to have you in. And I'm near Winter Hill in Greater Manchester there, near Wigan. Oh, I love that. So I would have thought, oh, there we go, look, we're getting one tracked, that, yeah, the cities would be much harder because of light pollution and things like that to see. But no, Manchester, Liverpool, London still get a lot of good sighting. So there's a little white dot in the middle there. But this is the sort of thing that we're going to see a lot of tonight. Again, loads of man-made satellites up there, and we need to see them do something strange to confirm that they're not that. All of that sort of stuff is falling to Earth in a big circle, and therefore, if we see it stop dead, change its course or trajectory, that tells us 100% it's not that. So this tracker is green. It's not giving us evidence that it is anything else, but if it goes red, as this one will do, because it's not got that tracking alignment correct. If you look at it there, see, there we go, it's gone too far away from the line, but it just predicted its path wrong. But the red ones are the ones we need to just confirm. Oh, Loch Lomond there. Angela, I like that as well. So part of our tour isn't Loch Lomond, but we've got a few places up your way. So we're doing the Falkirk Triangle, I think Bonnie Bridge, and, oh, where is it? You know what, I've got it on a t-shirt, guys. Hold on. There it is. So, this is our UFO hotspot tour. It's a UK map with all of the little cryptids and the UFO stuff in all of the locations. But on the back, it's like a band tour t-shirt of all of the UFO hotspots we want to do. So we're in Scotland, Loch Ness, because when in Scotland, you've got to do Loch Ness there. Calvine, Deckmont Law, and the Falkirk Trial Bonnie Bridge there. That's where we're hoping to do with Scotland. And just generally up the north, Ilkley Moor, Pendle Hill, Todmorden. Midlands and Wales is Cannock Chase, Berwyn Mountains, Broadhaven. And then south-southwest, Rendlesham Rendlesham Forest, Clay Hill, which is very close to us there, and Bodmin Moor. But I'm sure there'll be many more to add to that list. Oh, another red one, but it doesn't look to be anomalous. Do help us spot the strange and anomalous on screen. Need a landing pad. Trevor, bang on, bang on. And that is something I'm petitioning the local council to do. I think we need one here. Until it's a good area. It does ring a bell. I feel like I've read there's something about architecture in that area or something there. How are you doing, Raf? How are you doing there? Because it got our tinfoil hats on and the tracker ready for you, Raf. I know you love it there. Marcus is in. How are you doing, Marcus? And the Berwyn Mountain UFO incident, 1974. That's the one. Yeah, that was a very, very interesting incident, wasn't it? So yeah, we want to do skywatches from all of those important locations to us. Some of them may still be very active UFO hotspots there. But yeah, kicking it off, hopefully with Rendlesham Forest. As well, nice and clear here in Cornwall for the moment there. Looking good there now. So can't rely on it. In fact, excuse me guys, sorry, let me spin the camera around. I'm going to turn the tracker off. Let's see if we can get a slightly better patch of sky, because it's a bit light over there. So let's spin it around. Hold your hats. Now the clouds have moved slightly. It's meant to be fully clear for us. We might get a few straggling clouds. But let's spin this round, and we can turn the brightness up when we're in a darker patch of sky. Ooh, where is... there she is. There's Vega. Big, bright, beautiful purple Vega. 26 light years from us here. You know which one I'm talking about there, that big, bright purple one. Still got a lot of blue. There's a lot of that sunlight still up there. Let's turn on the tracker again, see if we can get some locks here. But this is normally a pretty active part of the sky. And Farnborough, I've just seen, oh, this is Ed's Farnborough. I've just seen a few things there. Orbs during the display of the typhoon last Tuesday. And it is even on the YouTube videos. Very interesting. And it makes a lot of sense there. You know, some sort of non-human intelligence is going to be interested in our technology. There is a higher amount of detections, isn't there, around military places. I think the correct distinction is strategically important locations. But they do paying interest. And what would we do if we were, you know, monitoring, observing another world? We would be curious about all of these things as well. And the what's that, Raf there? Cereal Monster Aussie Lemonade there, up there with the Viking bread. Oh, they've stopped doing it in my local shop, but the Aussie Lemonade, I could drink that like water, which is a bit worrying, but it is very, very good. And I used to go stargazing with my telescope, and not far from a henge in Wirral. So there are so many henges around there. These stones aren't shy. Obviously, Stone Henge gets a lot of the attention. They've got to pick one, haven't they? And it is impressive. But there are lots of even larger stones around there, and so we're not short of henges around here in the UK. And Dean there, evening. What tracking software do you use? So this is one we're building ourselves, which is why it's a little bit janky, and it does get a good few bits wrong. But hopefully over time we can improve it. Next step is kind of getting those tracks a lot more precise. Then stage 2 is going to be getting the software to be able to label and identify the stars that are in shot. So then we can combine the fact that it knows where it's looking with the tracked objects and match those up with known satellites there, and therefore we'll be able to label them, and would help us filter out the explainable and leaving us with more of the anomalous. But once it is done, it probably will be available to all of you guys there. We give away most of our software there. We've got a whole sensor dashboard, we've got our SETI alien radio signal radio there, and the dog whistle we spoke about earlier. That's all available on our website for our little community to use for your own hunting whenever you guys like. Cloudy skies in Wales, we've got to keep them up there, Graham, and it's super bright moon tonight. You know what? I can't see it. We have got trees and like a hill, but I can't even see the glow at the end of our garden there too. So it's we might be in the right location away for it, because the moon really does affect our visibility. That reflected light out there makes the sky so bright. And it's excellent. Thank you, Angela. And Scooby there, how are you doing? Good to see you. And Rich as well. Hi. It all starts getting earlier there. Had some rain in Cheshire finally. Apparently we had some earlier, but I didn't see it myself. But yeah, we're going to get on earlier. As it gets darker earlier, we'll jump on basically as soon as it's clear enough to do that one. And Scooby, thank you for feeding Alan there as well. And Amanda is in the house. Good to see you there. Mark it down on your calendar. What's that one? The 12th of next month is supposed to be a spectacular meteor storm after the eclipse. I was going to know because of the eclipse. Or, you know what, I'll totally forget there, Scooby. But yeah, I'm going to write that one down. Because it's the eclipse and there's something else, yeah, around that time. But August time is normally very good for us for sightings. And where are we down there? Gaza as well. Good to see you in. Right, let's bounce back over to the TikTok and see where we got two of you wonderful people as well. If you are just joining us, We are doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch there, and we're coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. So a long history of the weird and wonderful in these night skies. Tonight should be no exception. Now the clouds have sodded off, so do help us spot the strange and anomalous there. Let us know what you see, call out the grid reference, and if it's interesting, the mods will press the button to highlight the interactive grid there. Maybe it's something the tracker's missed or that I'm not paying enough attention to. But in the meantime, say hello and let us know where you're all watching from. We want to hear from you all. And we got to AJ, didn't we, down there? And, Mr. Anons, how are you doing? Mr. Anons, you're Mr. Excellent. Well, it's good that you can share these things. They're interesting. Say hello to Mr. Anons as well there. Anomalous, that's a tongue twister. Oh my god, it's going to get me, but I'll get there eventually. Good to have you in. I hope as well. And not yet the ping you when you got it up. I love that. Again, more people getting more equipment to monitor the skies for all these sorts of things. The more eyes, the more minds, the more we all piece this puzzle together. And it's very cloudy and rainy. That AJ will keep it up that way, and hopefully, look, there's a whisper cloud coming in up here, but it shouldn't be too much. Is this real? Is it a game? This is real. It's a real camera looking to the night sky live, and these objects that are coming is a good question because you never know in this day and age. But that was about to go off the screen, but there'll be more. Trying to give a good example. It's one at the top of the screen. Can I zoom in on that one? God, you can't really see it. It's just in. Oh, for fuck's sake! Well, it zoomed in, didn't it? There. Why is that one so slow today? It's nothing. Then it's there. Can you just see that as it's coming out? You can just see it in front of it there. It's a bad example. And there'll be another one. Oh, look, there we go. That's a nice bright one. Zoom mode activated. There we go. So these things up there are going to most likely be, most of them will be man-made satellites. Now, it's not going to be all of them because these sorts of things were observed well before man had satellites up there. So that doesn't explain all of it. But statistically, any one that's not giving us clear information otherwise is probably going to be that, just because it's a numbers game. So much man-made stuff flying around up there. But so we're looking out, that's why it's a hunt, we're looking out for the ones that act a little bit weirdly, that stop dead, shoot for speed, change their course or trajectory, because that tells us for sure that they are something a lot more interesting. So yeah, that's why we need your help. Don't fully rely on the tracker. Let's see. Let us know if you spot anything strange up there. And SpaceX put 20 new satellites up there the other day. Oh, they did, and there was one they put up for their test flight that I didn't realise. Very cool. That they were only up there literally for about an hour because they didn't get into the right orbit because it's the test flight. But they utilised them to monitor the test flight of the Starship and have a new perspective on it, which is amazing, isn't it? That they can do that. I mean, if you've ever seen the Starship test flights, guys, the fact that you can see the plasma on the re-entry of heating it up now, that is just phenomenal. We'd seen it in movies, but they were never able to actually properly record it before. And is it Diane there as well? Thank you for the follow. Where are you in from there? And Lethal is in too tonight. Good to have you there. And M23 there. Good. Thank you for the share. I do appreciate that, guys. It's the shares, the tapping away, all that jazz that helps us reach more and more like-minded people there, like yourselves. And the more eyes and minds on the old phenomena, so the more we can all piece this puzzle together there. Oh, Canic Chase is your end, AJ. So Canic Chase, I think it's going to be a real good one for sight. It's just the history it's got there. And what about Dartmoor? So Dartmoor I do want to do, but Bodmin Moor is easier because it's not as far, and I know more places in Bodmin Moor. So it's not that we wouldn't. I think that for us is once we've done the first on the road, it'll be so much more easier because it's just easy. It's harder always to do the first one, isn't it? But once we've got the kit, we've done the first one, it should be easy to just go, right, we can ring up Pete, are you available? Let's go to another place there. So hopefully we'll be able to get to do loads more on top of that as well there. And Crazy there as well. What app is this? So it's one we're building ourselves at the minute. So that's why it gets it wrong at the minute. But if you do want to hang out, you'll see when it does become available, because we normally make it freely available to everyone, all of the tools we use. We've got a little Discord community, so you can hang out there, and at some point, once it's ready, still a little bit janky at the second, you'll be able to know where to find it on our site there. And Chromie as well, thank you for the gifts, appreciate that. All goes back into the stream, guys, the same as the the members, the Patreons, the merch, all of that jazz. I said it helps us get on the road for those. Where are we? Down there. Good spot in there, Harco. And a light year is 1 trillion miles. Oh my god, that I won't remember that one, but trying to get your head around. I know what 1 trillion is, but I can't get an image of a trillion. It's just crazy, these numbers up there in space. I wouldn't want to walk it. And is that regular? You know what? It may be, Harko, but I have no idea. And then Ruben as well, thank you for the follow. And Isaac there, what country are you based in? So we are in the UK. We're in Wiltshire, in the county of, just down the road from Stone Henge, right in the heart of crop circle country there. I'm going to the Brecon Beacons for the eclipse in the Meteors. Now that will be a fantastic place to watch it. I think I have to make the effort to see if we've got a local dark sky reserve. At the very least, I'll see if we can do a Skywatch actually up one of the Iron Age hill forts locally, because they're quite good vantage points for it. But that'll be fantastic there, Isaac. And Harko coming in with the shares. And Lepo as well there. Hi from Western Midlands. Good to have you in there. And London Gatwick. I love that for Jonathan. And Leon as well. Interested in the tech there. Thank you, Leon. Again, it's very much a work in progress. But in fact, let me stop it for the second and move the camera, see if we can find a clear patch of sky. But hold your hats. Let's spin this around, see if we can get it there. It is due to be clear for us. We think we've just got to get the last few clouds out of the way. They were moving, so we can see a little bit of a gap on the horizon there. Yeah, there's a little bit of a gap around there. But yeah, they should be clear for us soon. So I'll wait to put the tracker back on once those clouds passed. And Dan there, what camera are you using? So it's a Sony A7 something or other. It's a very early one there. So, but the trick is the lens. You need to have a lens that lets in as much light as you possibly can, because again, the light from the distant stars and from all these satellites and things, and the UFOs too, it's quite faint. You don't necessarily see it with the human eye. So that does most of the legwork there. But I can't tell you what it is, because it's a cheap Chinese one, and it's just numbers basically. And I never remember them there. Share it as well. Thank you for the follow. And how often do you identify the UFOs? I like to detect them. So very good question. It depends on how many clear skies we get in a row. We know there's two versions of identification. So there's the one is that movement, the stopping dead, the shooting off at speed, changing course or trajectory. That is slam dunk, and that is the much rarer, of course. I think in our year or so of doing this, we've caught that three or four times, I think, for good cases like that. You go, I have no explanation for what that is, natural weather or whatever it might be. Then there's a middle ground where when you do it, you kind of see all the different versions of shooting stars, and they're all cool. You see all the different versions of satellites and all this sort of stuff, and then and you see all the different weather conditions and how it all affects it. So although the objects don't display anything that can 100% not be a satellite or a shooting star or whatever it might be, you get a feeling that was strange, that was an anomaly, and that's much more frequently. That's normally pretty much every other night at the minute there. But again, it's not a slam dunk there, but it is still very interesting. And Victoria as well, welcome aboard. Tubers, I'll be over to you guys soon there. And Ireland, UFOs everywhere. Apple user 47, you are not wrong with that. I thought doing this, well, it's going to be an equal distribution amongst people. We're in the UK, so therefore that's going to be our biggest audience area. And the England being the largest population there, the largest landmass, there would probably be a higher total, but equal per head. But that has not been the case at all. Scotland, followed by Wales and Ireland, have been so far. The reports that we get in are just so many more. Now, is it because, again, it's more rural, less light pollution? Is it culturally more open to these things? Because sometimes you can look and you can observe, but you don't see. If there's no framework for you to understand it, you might write it off, or you will most likely write it off as something else. So there. Confirming if it's aliens, that's another story, and what we're having to discover. Bang on, Leanne. Yeah, so we see the U in unidentified quite a lot there. The things where nobody has good explanations for. Again, satellites and things like that, they have to work in certain ways. There are ways for us to filter those out. But then what that actually is it ET waving as he goes by? That is very, very difficult there. And Victoria coming in with a gift. Thank you, Victoria. It's very, very kind of you there. So it all goes back into the stream. And Gromy, how are you there? Alan is vaping. There are some gaps on the horizon. It should clear for us. Memphis as well. Good to have you in where you're joining us from. Guys, do say hello as you're joining. Let us know where you're all watching from. And make sure you're following and subscribe, because we do this pretty much every night. Clear skies, or when we're expecting them to be clear, it's UFO, UAP, a Skywatch. Cloudy nights, it's the alien radio signal hunt. Like the film Contact, we're listening out on the hydrogen line of our own large dish, hoping to hear ET say hello. It's where science thinks that if there's going to be a message from aliens, that's going to be the best place to find it. Tubers, I'll be over to you guys momentarily, just finishing up here. And it's also a new moon in the night of the meteor shower, so a less light pollution from the moon. Bang, that even better. That is, the contrast there is going to be amazing. I'm very much looking forward to that one. I'm glad to hear it, Chromie. We're all good here there, watching from the UK, from Stafford. Good to have you in. I do need to do a little map showing where everybody is when they check in, and we can see what our global coverage is. Where did we get to in the tubers chat? It's moving along here. Oh, it's the Perseid meteor shower. Oh my god, my pronunciation is awful. Sam, learn to read. Where are we, Raphael? Is it 90 odd watching and only 37 likes there? I need to get the finger thumb. Thank you, guys. We do appreciate if you do choose to like us, because that is how the algorithm knows that other people might be interested, and therefore it will suggest it to them. And you never know who's going to come in and what experience they are going to share. My favourite bit in doing this is not, as you'd expect, the cool sightings. They are cool. I love seeing them. We see some strange things. But it is actually the thing that has changed my understanding the most about what might be going on is hearing your individual accounts, because I just was blown away by how much, how often, and the range of them there. We've had some cool people coming in, sharing their knowledges and experiences. And Amanda there, any new crop circles? There's been a couple lately. I'm actually struggling to keep up with the crop circles around. This season has been absolutely crazy for it, and some very, very different designs as well, which I'm struggling to get my head around. Do I feel these ones are more man-made, or do I feel this could be more whatever the phenomena is? Aliens must think we are mad, going at the speed of sound there, the way we do with no electro shielding. They probably would look down and go, what the hell is going on? And Kev there, yeah, the moon is really bright here and cloudy in County Durham there while out walking at the dog. The moon is fascinating. I do love looking at the moon. I mean, when we do our moon watches there, I said it looks like that, so it's really, really cool to see. But when you don't want to do a moon watch, that light just really does your light pollution. You see so much less stars, so I tend to get quite frustrated with that one. Oh, and we watched Disclosure Day as a group on Google Meet the other day, and I enjoyed it. I like that one, Scooby. We had a lot of fun after the show, and share stories, meet the new people. That is cool. We do our movie club. We don't do it on Google Meet, but that might be an interesting idea. But we haven't done Disclosure Day because it's a new one there. But I enjoyed Disclosure Day. Lots of people, take it or leave it. I don't think it'll be as good as like Close Encounters, where you'll watch that one years and years and years into the future. But I do think it was interesting, and I enjoyed it, and I think it's got a message to say for where we are now, which mostly I think is going to be that we are ready. I don't think it was necessarily to us, but I think it was to the other people out there that go, oh, we couldn't handle it there and stuff. I think it was slowly, even maybe the more dogmatic types, whether that's through religion or through science or whatever their belief of culture is, it was just kind of starting to go, lads, it's going to be okay. It doesn't break everything. The world doesn't crumble. That's what I took from it there. And Jason as well.
Nom, nom, nom.
Sorry, I nearly missed
guys.
that one there. Feeding Alan. Thank you for that. How you doing, Spare Rib there? Oh, and Trevor, the Black Knight satellite eye. So whether the Black Knight, the specific one in those images, is real or not, I do think the idea, I find it very plausible that an alien species, they've had plenty of time to put a probe in orbit. And there are some clues. There are so many things in orbit of Earth that we track, and we don't know what they are or where they have come from. Uncorrelated targets, they're called. And as we mentioned earlier, like when we were talking about seeing those lights across the sky, and we in fact spin the camera around, these things was these things were seen well before man had satellites up there. So what was up there that was highly reflective orbiting the Earth there? We've spoken, and we're planning as a species to see if we can send probes to the next solar system across. So why wouldn't another species do the same thing for us? Earth has been screaming for about 2 billion years that it's got biological life. So if there is a species out there that at any point in the last 2 billion years, we've got a clearish patch, don't get too excited, in the last 2 billion years has had the technology that we have got currently, they would know that Earth has life. Where are we? Down here as well. Gribbage, how are you doing there? And that cloud came in quick. It bloody did, didn't it? A bit frustrating, but hopefully it'll go out just as quick. And Grand Master there. Another day, another milestone. Today marks the anniversary of the first terrapin placed in Earth's orbit. It's a little known fact that this did, in fact, precede Lyra. Did it really? I did not know that at all. Did you guys hear about the more recent Russian lizard sex satellite that they lost control of? So that's always the opening, isn't it, to like a horror sci-fi film there. Weird science experiment, out of control, left for millennia. What could happen? Yeah, it's a brilliant headline. And if you're in Wiltshire, then Dartmoor is closer than Bodmin. Oh, have I got it? Did I do it around the right way? Oh no, it is Bodmin. Okay, fuck, I've put the wrong one down. Yeah, Dartmoor is closer. Yeah, why did we choose Bodmin? Good point. I wouldn't have realised till I was on the road. Where are we down here as well? And Zach Boda there, new here. And this is right up my street there, watching from Edinburgh. Sarah, welcome in, and good to have you in. Have you ever seen anything strange in the Edinburgh skies? We've got a few from up your way who have seen some things over the years. And yeah, very welcome in. Well, hopefully this cloud is going to start off. Oh, the tracking is still on. There we go. It's got one just now across the screen, coming from behind where I am there. So keep an eye on it, see if it does anything strange. But good to have you in there. And Paul there, and what's this shite? As in what? You're not into UFOs? You're not into the possibility and mystery of the universe there. And evening there, SK as well. Emilio, we're all good here. How about yourself? Where did we get to? Oh, it's jumping ahead. Have you not seen the clouds before? Yeah, that's it. He's just angry. We're angry about the clouds as well. The wind today has been mad. It has been quite gusty, which I've appreciated for once. It's been too hot there. And the message from the aliens will be, bugger off, we don't want to talk to you. It might be. It might be. It might very well be. And a light as well. In a lot of area of high strangeness activity, focus should be on the land and the horizon as well as the sky. I like that one. Like, I've often thought about, like, you know, doing that to frame it. The issue that we have is that we've got a short window of where what view we have, basically. There's a certain part of the sky that's not too bright from the light pollution of the town, and there's not too many tall trees in the way. At the minute, we're quite pointed up, you know, we're, you know, almost directly up at the second to just get the shots. It's not... We've not got a good framing where we are at the second, but I think for doing some on-location stuff, that would be a very good shout, because it's also a good reference point as well for getting sizes and things like that. When we do our live Skywatches on a location at the minute, they're normally the local Iron Age hill forts. So it's much easier to do there to kind of get that perspective and that contrast there. And in fact, some of the most interesting sightings have been the ones that are almost or appear to be, we should say, almost at ground level there. So, Light, I think you're on the money with that one. Witness, how are you doing there? And Angelo as well. We see lots of things in a Loch Lomond there. A blue flashing light that doesn't move for 30 minutes and then disappears is amazing. So that is very hard to explain there. Again, you've got the colour and you've got it there, and they're not on the flashing away. So the mainstream explanation for, we see flashing moving objects, and sometimes you see some stationary ones, and they're even weirder because everything up there should be moving, should be in motion. There's very few exceptions to that, and from our point of view, if we see something stationary that can flash back to us every couple of minutes over the course of the stream, very strange at these altitudes there. But the blue coloration of that is very interesting as well, that one. It makes me feel very much like the plasmoids could be the answer to that one there. And some light form plasmoid orbs emanate from the land as well in various entities. So literally, as we're touching on that, light, bang on, because I think that's going to be responsible for a large part of the phenomenon. I don't think it's going to be all of it, but a large, there's the idea that there could be sentient plasma-based life. In fact, and that's not as out there as it sounds. There are lots of mainstream scientists looking at this, and they go, for what we're seeing, they're starting to really look at it now, so we should get this confirmation soon. But they're displaying the behaviour there, working in groups, responding to their environment, you know, potential reproduction, you know, intelligent behaviour there, and that would be a life form that is so different to us there, maybe with us the whole damn time. So I think that's going to be a really interesting angle for discovery. But a lot of the official reports looking into these things that have been declassified come to those conclusions too. And they're greeting from Earth Guardians. How you doing there, Chris? And I thought Disclosure Day was a complete bollocks. So I was expecting it to be more of that, but I got more out of it than I thought there. And have you seen the golden orbs in Wiltshire around Avebury, Silbury Hill area? So not in those areas, Trevor, but I have seen, and we've seen it on this stream, I think twice. One of them was quite recently. These big, massive, orangey, reddy orange orbs, like almost like a fire orange orb, on our camera, and it is too big and too fast to be a satellite, and too slow with no tail to be a shooting star. Like, you know, no explanation for them. So maybe it's something related to that. And actually, maybe because this lens, as you can tell, these clouds are a little bit yellow. The lens, the way it lets in a lot of light, also sometimes screws the coloration a little bit as well. So maybe they were more goldy, but compared to us a little bit more. So very interesting. I have heard a little bit about them. See, blue orbs at Sunhill there, very strange. I like that one. And where are we there? Jay, thank you for the cowboy hat there. I literally saw that one pop up. Appreciate that. Hardco coming in with the gifts there. Victoria too. I'll be over to the TikTok chat momentarily, but appreciate all the gifts and subs, the members, the Patreons, the merch. I said it all goes back into the stream, helping us improve on what we're doing. Blue could be plasma. That's an interesting one. I don't know enough about plasma. Traditionally, ionized plasma is an orangey red colour, isn't it, there? But I imagine it could be. I feel like I've seen that in, various forms. And Stu, there's a cool t-shirt for sale on Amazon that shows a UFO over Silbury Hill there the other day. Now, that is cool. I will need to add that one to our list there. Speaking of cool t-shirts, we see who's on the merch showcase. So if you do get our merch and you post a picture of yourself in it on our Discord merch showcase channel, there. Oh, is that Casper site? Sorry, guys. Hi, how are you doing? A big fan of your channel. Where are we? Over there here as well. Yeah, just working our way through the YouTubes at the second, and we'll be over to the TikTok momentarily. But yeah, as you can see, our cool members there wearing all of their cool merch, flying around in the night sky. Sorry, it's a bit cloudy at the second, guys, but we are waiting for those clouds to pass. Oh my god, now I'll get into the messages there. Crazy, isn't it, a world that we can actually kind of connect like this at the time. Part of your videos doing your live night vision was literally at the same time I was thinking about doing it, and I was like, man, that looks cool. So we can thank Caspersite for some of the inspiration for doing this stream. So you're very, very welcome in there. How the devil have you been there as well? So let me scroll through some comments here. But guys, if you're just joining us tonight, we are doing a live UFO UAP Skywatch from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stone Henge. So a long history of the weird and wonderful in the night skies here. Do help us spot the strange and anomalous. I do want to read all of your comments there. So we're scrolling through the YouTube at the second, and then I'll be bouncing back over to the TikTok momentarily once I've got through them. But do say hello, let us know where you're watching from, and if you've had an experience with the phenomena, I would love to hear about that whilst we're waiting for these damn clouds to pass and get that tracker on. In fact, let's spin the camera around to see if there is a better patch of sky for us here. You never know. So you turn the camera down slightly, and then there could be just a wonderful gap in the clouds. Oh, there is a gap. There's a gap. How big is this gap? Oh, it's only a little gap. Let's have a look. Let's see how we get on here. Come on, guys. I can turn up the brightness a little bit as well because it's now getting dark. Let's turn that tracker on. Let's see what we get. Remember, we're looking for objects that are moving through the night sky. There's a faint one there. It did try and track it. We're looking for these objects, but we need to see them stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory. That will tell us for sure that it is something anomalous there as well. Where did we get to across the board? Right, I'm going to pause where I am in the tubes and just quickly catch up because I'm about 1,000 messages behind on the top. So let me scroll the way back up to see where we got to there. We got to the moonlight there. We got to Chromie in, didn't we? And then we got to Jay checking in from South Carolina. Good to have you in there. And Caspersite there. How are you doing? I've already said hello, but I'm just getting to your messages in the chat there as well. Jay coming in with, Victoria coming in with the gifts. Thank you for that. Appreciated. All goes back into the stream there. And maybe a silly question, mate, but do you still see anything interesting when it's cloudy? No, not a silly question at all, Casper. That is a really good question. And yes and no. So one of the best sightings I've had was when it was cloudy. And the problem is, I'm going to turn up the brightness now, see some more stars, now the clouds are out of the way, but we see overall less. So it helps us identify movement when it's within our atmosphere, because if you can see it interact with a cloud, that gives you that real, like a better clue of the altitude of it, basically. But obviously there's still a lot of interesting things outside of our atmosphere within orbit of Earth that we don't know what they are, and they act strangely and we see them all the time. So there's those things, but they're just blocked because the light is too faint to penetrate through the cloud. So it's a bit of and also it's just nice watching the stars, they look beautiful whilst you're waiting for the cool ones. So it's a bit of a yes and a no one there. But yeah, one of my best ones was setting up the camera before we went live on the Skywatch. And yeah, before we went live, and as I was setting it up, it was just about getting dark, and I just casually look up there, and I could see this big, bright, white moving object. It was moving in a straight, consistent line, but it was massive and it was fast, kind of like the ISS, and my brain went, oh, it's the International Space Station. And then I thought to myself, wait a minute, I can't see any other stars. It's not dark enough yet for that. And as I was watching it, it appeared to be going through the cloud and kind of leaving a streak through the cloud there. No air traffic. Really, really strange. A lot of other people saw it in the area as well. But the video I took of it was awful, because just like everybody, when you're in the moment and you're seeing something, you're so excited. I was so focused on this thing with my eyes, and where I was zoomed in, it was just the worst video ever. I think we did post it, but it's crap there. But that was a good one. Again, there's lots of activity, I think, at all the levels there. But it's a good question. Good question there. It's already Monday for you, Harker. Oh, we'll catch you later there. Emma, welcome aboard. Where are you joining us from tonight? And the sky looks upside down, and I can't explain why. So, for you guys, Kate, and you know this, we've turned the camera sideways for you there. So if you want to check us out over on the tubes, first of all, well, let me find my button for it. There it is. It looks like this. The camera's round the right way. It's larger, less of my face, more of the night sky, and all sorts of other contextual analysis there as well. So it's worth finding us there at the Thing UFO there. And Eric as well there. Good evening. Good to see you there. How are you doing, Eric? And where are we? Jay as well. Just sent my fingers are crazy to get 20,000 likes. Thank you, Jay. Very, very kind of you there. And said you never know who we're going to meet, who's going to come in and what experience that they are going to share with us there. Where are we? Where's Raf there? He's fanboy. Raf is over on the tube. I'm sure he's heard you now. Sorry I'm so far behind. So I don't like to miss comments. Because honestly, the stories that you guys tell, your personal experience are my favourite bit. And if I end up skipping through, I'll end up missing the good stuff. So I always try and keep up with the chat. I'm just very far behind. Ben there and Elpat as well. Thank you for the follow. Is it me or do those clouds look weird? There is something weird about them tonight. Be back in a second. Thank you, Kate, for reminder there. And how are you doing, Pete, as well? Have you found them yet? We have... Pete, if he's still in the chat there, that is our co-host on location when we go up the Iron Age hill forts there to do those locations, on location Skywatches. We want to do our UFO tour, starting with Rendlesham Forest there. But yeah, we do the old Iron Age hill forts here locally, and they are pretty good fun as well. And Casper, thank you so much for the follow there. Massive appreciation. And Perry as well there. Good to have you and where you're joining us from. Just scrolling through. I'm getting to the bottom of the TikTok chat now. And Adele there. Long time no see. How have you been doing? Have you caught anything live? We have. We have caught some very, very interesting things. In fact, I'm going to move the camera around. The big bright orange object from a previous conversation. The triangle formation that appeared to be blocking out stars. Hold on, guys. I'm just going to spin it around, see if we can get a little bit more clear sky. Nope. It was deceiving me. It was the edge of the lens. It's meant to be clear here tonight. I don't trust the weather. But yeah, lots of interesting things that we have seen there as well. Where did we get to? Down there. And Get Smoked. IFR, how are you doing there? And Casper, do you still do the lives as well with your kit there? And have you caught anything over your part of the world? And what is the best thing that you have experienced on those ones? And Get Smoked, have you seen the UFO with your own eyes in the sky? Yeah, we do. The skies are quite fruitful. There are various degrees. In fact, let me turn the tracker back on because it should be able to pick up some of that movement here. Ooh, doesn't like the clouds. There we go. It's got that faint one there. Now, there's lots of things flying around up there in the night sky, and sadly, a lot of them are man-made. It's just a statistics argument. But, in fact, it doesn't mean that any one is actually man-made there as well. So, most likely, we need to see these things stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course and trajectory for us to know for sure that it is a little bit stranger. So, like this one right now, it's not doing anything strange. That's why it's green. And until it does, we probably should just assume that it is a man-made satellite, because there's a lot of them up there. But what is really interesting, if you think about it, is that most of the time, a UFO, if I could find my cursor to zoom out of, there we go. A UFO is going to be traveling from A to B most of the time in a straight line. It is the fastest path between 2 points is a straight line at a consistent speed. Not much to avoid up there in the night sky. So they're going to look pretty similar to us there. But we need that rare occasion when ET is flying across over the camera, realises he's left his gas on and does the interstellar handbrake turn to meet us back here over the screen so we can confirm it. So it's a bit of a difficult game, but we are working on ways to try and help filter that out. So the next stage for the tracker is get the alignments much better because it's getting more precise. The next bit from that is to then get the stars mapped as well, so it will know what stars it's looking at, where we're looking in the sky, and then it can use that data to overlay. Do we know what this tracked object is? Is it a man-made satellite? Definitely, and hopefully it'll help us filter out and serve up some more things there. And have you seen the UFO with your own eyes? I did that one there. So we've seen lots of those, and out and about we've seen them too. And RAR as well. Thank you for the follow. Good to have you in. And I make a UFO songs infinite. We are very interested there, RAR. Join our Discord and we want to hear some of those. That's cool. Thank you, Casper. And we love the questions. So this goes to everybody. If you've got any questions, if you're curious, maybe it's what we're doing, why we're doing, or how we're doing it, ask away. No silly questions here at all. I don't tend to know the answers, but somebody in chat always will. And that's what's the great thing about our modern world, is we're so connected. We can bring in specialists, can't we, all of the time to share their knowledge. So yeah, we've seen lots of stuff there. And do you believe in aliens? Oh yeah, aliens, 100%. there is life, and that's the mainstream scientific belief as well. At the second, that it's just a numbers game. Now we know that there are planets around those other stars that we're seeing. All of these little dots here, these are other stars like our sun, some bigger, some brighter, some hotter, some cooler, but fusion reactions in the night sky with planets in orbit. But we didn't know that there were planets around those ones orbiting until semi-recently, but now we do. It's just a numbers game. So science thinks life is out there, and there's a lot of early indicators that is the case. Lots of early detections, nothing conclusive, but it's looking like the solar system's alive. Now, is it visiting us? These are vast distances. It would require a lot of energy, but there are ways. Warp drive is possible. It doesn't break physics, just need a lot of energy. I think with the age of the universe, I'm very high conviction on that we have been visited. Now, any particular account or case, that's when I get less there. But there are some that I do find very, very compelling. And where are we there? And is it Ooch here as well there? Could you zoom in on the star, please? Oh, sorry, I've zoomed out there. But when we get another clear, we will definitely zoom in on those ones. And do you believe in aliens? Yes, 100% there. And come over to the tubes. Amanda, I'll be back over. I might as well just finish up where I am on the TikTok before it jumps ahead on me. I've literally been laying down looking at the sky for 30 minutes. It is phenomenal there. And Afraid Not as well. Welcome in. Good to have you there. And I thought I watched a satellite once, but suddenly it turned 90 degrees. So that is behavior. If you're confident of the altitude, the satellite, there is no mainstream explanation for that. Nothing organic or man-made that can behave like that. Now it's getting nice and clear, guys. There we go. And Uggy always looked up and seen a lot of objects moving erratically, fast and slow, to stop and go the other way. So that behaviour, that is it. And I hadn't seen anything until doing this stream there. And Boda as well, thank you for the follow. Everybody is to join us on the tubes. Oh, yeah, that's a good one, actually, Amanda. Yeah, guys, it is better over on the tubes. First of all, said it looks like this. You get to see more of the sky, all sorts of other contextual analysis as well. And so if the UFOs aren't man-made, what else could it be if you don't believe we have been visited? So I do lean that we have been visited there, but there are so many different explanations there. The YouTube does have fabulous views. But I came into this as old school nuts and bolts sort of UFO kind of guy. And little green men, metal spaceships coming from different star systems, and there are so many other explanations. There is the plasmoids, as we mentioned earlier, there sentient life that's just not how we have life at all. That could be a very big part of the phenomena, but also the dimensional angle, not in the way Hollywood describes it, but there are theorized to be many more dimensions, and maybe what we're seeing is those higher dimensional objects interacting with our 3 dimensions, and we're only kind of seeing a chunk of it. That would explain a lot, but time as well. There are so many things here. Loads of activity. Just keep looking up. Bang on there. You got to look up to see it there. There's currently more stars in view over there than there is in here. Actually, yeah, you get less of my face over on the old over on the tubes, so definitely worth joining us over there. Right, let me bounce back over to there as well. Where did we get to in your chat? It jumped ahead of me, and that's why I gave up. Let's have a look. Where did we get to? Sorry, guys. We're going to Dartmoor, Bodmin. We've got to SK in. We've got to Emilio, how are you there if we didn't say hello already? And where are we? Down here. The message from... No, I've done that one there. We got to light in there as well. Then we did witness. Where did we get to? Sorry, guys. I'll be with you in a second. We did that one. Amanda, if I haven't said hello. Good to see you there. And... is this where I highlighted there? Have you seen the Black Knight satellite? So maybe there, Jcash, maybe we have. It would be hard for us to tell. So we are seeing a lot of satellites. What we are seeing are things in Earth's orbit reflecting light back down to us here on Earth. So basically, that's as much as we can tell. Now, you can map some of their movements to known man-made satellites, but not all of them are listed there. So we could well be seeing, or have seen, the Black Knight multiple times. Their theorized alien probe monitoring us there. Light beings were observed at Silbury Hill years ago. Generally in this community, again, they weren't reported necessarily in the same way. This cultural flavour that we put on when we interpret these things. If you go back through the history books, there's been crop circles, there's been these light orbs. Light orbs have been interpreted as angels quite a lot. More so than that human version of an angel. The ball of light was the reference to it for a very long time. And light beings were observed at Silbury Hill. Did you say the Russian lizard sex satellite? That was the one. Yep. It's a real thing. It was a scientific experiment from the Russians there. They put like breeding pairs of lizards up in a satellite to orbit Earth, and they want to see what the zero gravity was doing to their reproduction and their behaviour like that. And they lost control of it. So there is a out of control breeding population of Russian lizards there, bonking away in the Earth's atmosphere. Can't see any stars, but them orange clouds look cool. It's the surface of Venus, that's what we say. And shut up and just look at the sky. Like, so where I saw them, no, I don't think it was stupid, Trevor. I thought it was interesting what you're saying on those ones. And thank you, Kate, for the reminder there. Yeah, exactly. Plasma colour are usually blue and purple. So, but I suppose purple is close on the spectrum there to have that perception, isn't it? From, for visually, you could get the two conflated or confused. And no shadow bastards in this channel. As well there. I don't know, he might be lurking, but he might have moved on now, which is pretty cool, isn't it there? We've had a few people in that you go, oh my god, that's amazing. Casper is definitely one of them there. But there's a few people that have jumped in. So it was the chap, the Baltic Sea anomaly. What's his name? Is it starts with a D. There, he came in our chat once, and I'm like, this is amazing. What a world we live in. We get to talk to the people that are on the front lines doing all this stuff there. I think it was Kaz as well from the again getting it wrong, Penrich incident there, the Welsh UFO one. What a world we live in there. It depends on what gases it interacts with there. That makes sense there. So we could get it. We could be seeing that. Around ancient barrows, reservoirs, quarries and lakes, etc. There is a connection there. And was it Mulder's channel 24 from Highley, Great Manchester? Good to have you in as well there. And Chris, I really like this place. Really nice vibes and great topics come out there. It really is, Chris, isn't it? Especially like last night when we really get deep into the oh my god, I've got to pronounce it. The philosophical, there we go, that's the word, angles of these things. It's a cool community that keeps me company every night. And where is it? Raf, yes, it was 100%. I checked. Flying Twitter, triangles, Batman. Exactly. Yeah, that was my second fault, but no, it's yeah. And Dan, there, you should work together sometime on stuff there. Well, I'd love to at some point. You never know how the world works. People in circles. I would definitely love to. Live Skywatch with all of the cool kids. Ooh, sorry guys, the tracker's going to go crazy, but there's a nice clear patch of night sky, so let's catch that one up. And where are we down here? Oh god, it's scrolling. Sorry. Nibiru is not far away. I find Nibiru interesting. So when we're constantly looking for this extra planet, aren't we, in our solar system? It starts to match up more and more there. Where are we down there? And going to be a good one tonight there. The tracker is also doing well tonight. Thank you, Super. I do appreciate that. Raf loves the tracker too there. And Agent Bear X as well there. Keep up the great work from the United States. Thank you, Bear. And thank you for hanging out with us. Good to have you in there. And Nathan, how are you doing tonight? Good to have you. And I've had loads of sightings from Fistral Beach in Nuki there. White wow. I love Nuki. Or anytime it comes up, it is my happy place there. So many good memories. But you know what? Yeah, Fistral would be a good one because it's slightly outside the town. You're going to have less light pollution there. Maybe we'll have to add that one to our UK tour there. Do a bit of a Fistral Beach night sky watching. Bit of surfing during the day. God, could I even get on a surfboard anymore the size of me? I'd love to do that. And does the film Alien ring any bells there? The Russian lizards? No. And I have had many sightings over the years, hence why I love this channel so much there. You'd think you'd catch more, and I've seen so many. You really would. We are in a UFO hotspot. This last few weeks, I've got to say, where we've had the heat wave, we've seen less than the average. We've still seen a lot, but it's nowhere near as much. It was multiple per night, pretty much guaranteed, previously. So I think we've got to get into the season. Maybe the heat's doing something. The aliens are too sizzly. They don't want to come out for it. Maybe. I always think of a bit like Fantasia. There, the alligators have fingers and the hippos don't. I haven't even seen Fantasia. I'll have to check up on that one there. And hello from Northern California. Well, I love a little bit of Cali there. Is that Northern California? Is that sort of Malibu way and that sort of, because isn't there meant to be like hotspots for sightings over the water over there? Good to have you in. Thank you for joining us, guys. Do say hello if you're new here. Let us know where you're watching from. Just say hello anyway. Ask away any questions you might have. Maybe it's what we're doing, why we're doing it, or how we're doing it. We'd love to hear from you all there. But if you've had an experience with the phenomena, again, really would love to hear about that whilst we're waiting for the action to happen on screen. But we're doing our live UFO UAP Skywatch there. Said coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of crop circle country, and just down the road from Stone Henge. So lots of strange things in the night sky. Look, we've got 4 on screen at the minute there. Now, again, until they do anything strange, there's a 5th one that's not being tracked right there. There's a 5th one. We need to see these objects stop dead, shoot off at speed, change their course or trajectory to tell us for sure that they are something more anomalous. So hopefully, we're going to keep your eye on them. They will do something strange. This one will go red. It's got its tracking alignment wrong. So at some point it'll get far enough away to red, but still keep an eye on it there for that strange movement. And the tracker is about as useful as I can't. Raf, I know you love it. You're just playing hard to get. The Welsh Mountains here are the place seen so many. That is very much on our UFO tour list there. And Nibiru is predicted to arrive at 2046. Is it really? I hadn't heard of that one. But there are signs of gravitational interactions with large bodies coming through the more inner solar system there. There are, the displacement, the orbits there. They all give little clues to things within history, and that is not something that you do want to be around. That sort of stuff can really screw us up there. Something comes close enough to us there really will affect our weather and stuff there. Just to put it to you, thank you, Robbie. That is very, very kind of you there. In any way, shape or form of support is amazing, even if you're just watching quietly, hanging out with us there. But all the way up the scheme there to members and all that jazz and merch buyers. Again, it's all very appreciated and it all goes back into the stream there. But hey, just hanging out with us is always worth it there. So do make sure you're following and subscribe, guys, because we're on pretty much every night. Clear skies, it's the UFO UAP Skywatch. Cloudy nights, it is the alien radio signal hunt there, where we search the hydrogen line, the channel on the radio dial where scientists theorize that if ET's out there, this is where they'd put the message. And if the moon's up, it looks like this, and we see all sorts of strange anomalous things on the moon there, or I should say on, off, and around the moon. And I'll be over to you TikTokers momentarily. I'm just going through the tube chats. And Zachary there, I've seen some UFOs before and even found a mutilated deer, and no one would contact me back because I told them its butthole was clawed out instead of saying, hey, that's there from Pennsylvania. Hey, straight to the point. It's the same job, isn't it? But we've been reading part of our deep dives that we do for our patrons and members. We do our UFO homework. We go into all of the leaked documents there, or the declassified reports from the 50s and the 60s, or the 40s sometimes, and we go through, we read them there. And actually in those earlier reports, they go out there to specify, to say, look, we want to close down our reporting channels. We want to, make this ridiculous in the eyes of the public there. They did have reporting channels initially. There were teams out there that were looking into this publicly, but they purposely cut all of that off and didn't want to call people back. They didn't want to encourage it, basically, at the time. It's all there in the writing. But on the other hand, they do go, there is something here. We need to look into it more, but also we can't let the public know. It's clear as day in some of those reports, official reports there. So good to have you in from there. What sort of sightings did you see in the sky there? I went to Wales yonks ago with that raft there, hills and sheep, and beautiful hills and sheep. Watching from Redwood City. Oh, Robbie, Redwood City. So that rings right. Was it Gil? There's a guy who does meditation. It's always Gil from Redwood City. That's his like I say, from the right in the heart of crop circle country. He is from Gil from Redwood City. They're good to have you in. And I love from Ohio. Very, very good to have you in there as well. Rebecca, thank you for joining us. Lots of new faces tonight, so I do appreciate you all saying hello. And again, if you've ever had a strange experience, would love to hear about that one too. But again, if you don't want to share it here, that's cool as well. We have a cool Discord community where if you put it in there, in the personal experiences section, all of the community, even if they're not on tonight, they can check that out and they can hear, they can read it at any time. Images and videos too. There's some really good ones in there already if you want to check that ones out. And thank you again there, Robbie, for the support there. Lucky I live by the sea. SK, I miss living by the sea. It was the Aronda Valley, if I remember. A nice little place there. Wow, this is beautiful. And Jay there as well. 23rd July, 11:26 p.m. there. UFOs and aliens, flying saucers there. Don't exist there. So, Jay. The problem is that you are factually wrong. Like, you can be skeptical about what the phenomena is in specific, and that's totally fine. But the problem is with that statement is you're factually wrong. Like UFOs, there is things that are reported and accepted by multiple governments, including the US, but also over here in the UK and France as well, that there are strange things going on that do not fit the explanation of man-made technology, that well out of the realms of what we'd expect for future development as well, but also weather and things like that. Now, to say what they are 100%, that's where we can have some debate and some interesting thing there. But what I think's happened is that lots of people, they like that what the government says is right. That for them is a sense of security. And if anything else, if there is any mystery, if there's anything strange up there in the night sky, it presses a little button of insecurity right there. I used to live not far from there, deep in the valleys. Very cool. And I live in Port Talbot, South Wales, and have seen UFOs on numerous occasions over the years. Laura, brilliant one there. So what are they like? Like, what sort of, are they the lights in the skies, or have you seen the actual shape or outline silhouette of the craft? Because that's one that I really do want to have an experience like that myself. They exist there. I've seen 30 cylindrical shaped crafts in Colorado. The cylindrical ones, often cigar shaped, they call them back in the day. More common back in the old days, still happen, but a phenomenal sighting. There, where did we get to? And Zachary there, before I was persecuted and put on house arrest, I would walk 20,000 steps a day for therapy and walk a lot at night there and saw a bunch of satellites. But one time it flew the opposite way after looking. Oh, Zachary, now that is very interesting because, yeah, it's spending that time outside, increasing your statistical odds of having a sighting, but that movement is anomalous, like slam dunk, no question about it. That is highly, highly strange. See if we can turn up the brightness a touch more, see if we can get some more sky visible there, a little bit more. Thank you for sharing that one as well there, because that movement is very interesting there. Thank you, Emilio, there. And UFOs aren't even paranormal anymore. Since disclosure, UFOs are just normal now. That is Zachary, yeah. That is it. It is common. It is a widely accepted thing. It's just they haven't got the message. Even there's a lot of science out there as well, like the scientific community, and you can partly forgive them because the nature of silence is heavily siloed, heavily specific subject matters. But they haven't updated themselves like since the 90s. They go, we don't know if alien life's out there or blah blah blah. And it's like, actually, the astrobiologist community think alien life is going to be absolutely abundant, but most of science hasn't caught up to that one yet. And who's flying them? Us is the question. So that, yeah, Theo, that could well be. That is the interesting question. I think I'm more a fan of certain theories. I think there's evidence for certain which ways, but it's not 100% settled from my point of view. With the experiences I had, there's could be us from the future. It could be the reverse engineered craft angles to all of this. It doesn't have to just be the old school little green men from a different planet there. And I see them all the time here in Cornwall. Do you see them over the coast or over the land? Because Cornwall, like Wales, again, it's a really I call it mythical landscape there. There's so much cultural heritage in folklore and all of the highly strange in this area that we wrote off as, just silly old-fashioned stories. But that was our way at the time of interpreting what looks to be the same thing. If you strip away that top-level, analysis of what we think we're seeing, and that goes for our modern sightings as well. Now, if we stop thinking extraterrestrials necessarily and go, right, what are we seeing? What is the objective observation here? Lights in the sky, displaying strange maneuvers, little people taking people away, missing time, radiation poisoning and damage like that. That has been seen right the way back to caveman times and things like that there. We've then interpreted that the best we can for each time. Now, maybe the old school biblical understanding is the true one, or maybe our modern mechanistic one is more true. Maybe it's a little bit of all. Maybe they're all wrong. We don't know. But it's no surprise to me that it was the start of the modern UFO era, and Roswell was just at the time where we were thinking as a species about putting men in spaceships, flying out there to distant stars. It was all in our culture, and then the same sightings we've been seeing, calling fairies, folklore, been calling angels and demons, we started to see them as little green men coming from other planets. So which one is going to be more correct? Where are we? Down here. I joined Alan Ship there now, and the ship's botanist there. Super pancake, brilliant. We'll bring up the Starship Alan in a bit, so we can see you on board. So good to have you on as part of the crew. And Nathan is cooking to 160 degrees there. Thank you, Nathan. And I don't know about who's flying them, but it's Adefo. I'm not even repeating that one, Raf. And SK. We'll be over to you, TikTokers, momentarily. I'm almost at the bottom of the tubers chat there. Saw a bright white light that powered up, and it was low in the sky. ran to tell the kids, and they all saw as it went over our heads as silent and powered up super bright as well as it went over. I've never forgotten that, and that is a bloody, you would never forget that one, would you? But a lot of people say, oh well, it's secret military technology, and we can't fully rule it off there. But the problem is secret military technology has to follow our current understanding of physics to a certain degree, unless there's a whole degrees of science which have been siloed, possibly there, so even if you get a super next generation engine which is super quiet, or you figure out how to get the weight to energy ratio for planes and things to make them battery operated, you still have the sounds from the air being displaced. That is a large part of the sound. It's where that sonic boom comes from fast jets. It's not the engine noise, it is the sound of the air being parted. But these craft most of the time appear to not have any sound at all, which really does fit in with the warp drive hypothesis there, which doesn't break physics there. Scientists, and many go missing in national parks there. Nobody is aware that they all go. It's a bit convenient timing, isn't it, there, where you get on the cusp of disclosure, and then a lot of them, the first people you'd want to ask about this or summon as witnesses, they all go missing there. Oh, and over the coast mainly, so that makes a lot of sense. I didn't realise how active the seas were for the phenomena. The USO angle there, the transmedium nature, into the water, out the water, but liquid water, if you can find it across the universe, it is a consistent one. Very similar temperatures, very similar pressure ranges, very similar acidities, radiation levels. So no wonder if they are travelling from far afield, it's a nice balance for them, and it's away from us. They seem to move as if they are in a search pattern. That is interesting. It implies a purpose, doesn't it, there? Raf's here a week, but you're not, though. You're in a few days. And I do have to pay for a ticket the next time. And hello from Maine there, first time watching. Nicole, good to have you in there, and definitely welcome aboard. How are the skies of Maine tonight? It was dead silent and very low in the dead of night there. Again, so far out of the reaches. Not 100%, but, just in the very, very unlikely for secret military tech, unless it is the reverse engineered, which for me is basically the same thing. I don't care if the Americans built it. Oh, TikTokers, you're having a bit of an issue there. It will sort itself out in a second. Oh. Every night it does this, guys. Sorry, TikTokers. It does this every night. It has a little bit of salt for you guys. Charging for comedy talent there. I don't think comedy pays that well. And where are we down there? I'm from the west coast of Scotland there, David. Love that. Again, lots of sightings up your way. Where have you seen anything strange yourself there? And Ollie there, most UFOs are just a Velcro salesman. Well, actually, I like that one, because they do talk about Velcro maybe being one of those seeded technologies that we got from the Roswell craft. Don't know how true it is, but that was one of them. Right, I'm scrolling up through the TikTok chat now to see if we can find where we got to with you wonderful people that have been waiting ever so patiently for us there. So, guys, if you're joining us, we're doing our live UFO UAP at Skywatch tonight, coming to live from Wiltshire here in the UK, said right in the heart of crop circle country, and just down the road from Stone Henge. So the long history of the weird and wonderful in these night skies. Tonight it is lovely and clear, so do help us spot them, call out what you're seeing, and even if the tracker is on it, keep your eye on it, don't trust it. And I thought I watched a satellite once, and it suddenly did a 90-degree turn, so bang on anomalous behaviour there. And where did we? No, we did these ones. You need to meditate if you're going to see anything to invite them in. So I wouldn't say for to see anything there. We definitely still see things without that practice, but you tapping on a really interesting part, which is this is a passive stream. We are just pointing the camera to the night sky, hoping to see something strange, and we do see things strange, but we want to flip it a bit around to be a bit more active, and this meditation, this consciousness connection is one of the big ways that we hear that there's a good cause and effect relationship with that can be very successful. So we've got a little community on our Discord that's looking into doing that now, but if you want to join that one, if you know about it, you're very welcome in, and all more knowledge the better. There, link in the bio for that one, and we can add you to the special group for it. But on top of that, you guys, if you've heard of the dog whistle, like a real life dog whistle, it's a sound, a frequency that we can't hear with the human ears, but it summons them in, apparently. It's what the Skywatcher group were using. Oh, was that 6 on screen at the minute? That's what the Skywatcher group was using back in, last year, when they were doing lots of activity in this sort of field. And really interesting that they had apparently a lot of success with it. But basically it is tones and frequencies in various patterns that apparently, you know, can summon in the craft. So what we're doing, if I turn this on, you won't see it on the TikTok, but you will hear it, and YouTube, you'll see it and hear it. So this little bar down here now that's changed, so you'll see the waveforms come up, because this is our test tone, so you can see hear what's going on. If you know that one there. So basically, because we won't be able to hear ultrasonic tones normally, you've got the waveform there to see it, but the idea is once I've got some leads in, we'll put this out and we'll go through all of the tones that are meant to have that effect and see if it increases our sightings and detections. And Get Smoked as well, and Frankie, thank you for joining us there. Where are you joining us from? And Marcus in, how are you doing there? Oh, Broken Soul, thank you so much for the gift there as well. And Oil and Marcus and Kate and Marcus again there, Victoria, Jay as well there. Do appreciate all that, guys. The gifts, the subs, the members, the merch, it all goes back into the stream, helping us improve what we are doing. Oh god, it's just jumped ahead of me. Let me find out where we was in the chat. Where did we get to? Sorry guys, we've got to around here, then we got to Marcus and Uggy there. Go on YouTube there. UFO Lou, I've recorded for years up in the sky, great footage, and then it disappeared. Interesting, we'll have to check those ones out. Thank you for the heads up there, Uggy. And how are you doing? Oi, seeing you there. And Emma, hi, new here. May I ask, what's the difference between the green and the white trackers that we see? Good question there. So white is whilst it's trying to obtain the track. So the first step is the target symbol. If it identifies movement, it gives it a white target symbol, and then it draws a line of where it's been. You can see this going on right up here at the top of the screen there. Oh, it's just so it uses that white line it draws where it's been to predict the straight line in front of it, because if it's a satellite, it will be a straight line at a consistent speed, you know, going and then what will happen is that as it moves along the predicted line, it's green, because as far as we know, that's probably just a man-made satellite. We're not 100%, but it's not giving us any evidence to say otherwise, basically. And then if it deviates from that, it's doing it up there, trying to get the track, the lock on it, and then it'll predict when it gets to it. Oh no, it lost it. But if it goes red, then it is more anomalous, and therefore we should zoom in on it. Now, occasionally it does get the alignments wrong, and therefore it'll be like this one's slightly off here. So over time, that difference that it's got there with the initial alignment, that will get further away and trigger it to think it's anomalous. So it's still worth checking on them, but yeah, that is what is going on. That's a very good question, Emma. Where are you joining us from? And in space, no one can hear the lizard scream. I was going to do a lizard scream then, but I won't. I'll spare your ears. And what system are we using there, Get Smoked? So this is one we're building ourselves, and that's why it's not quite working at the minute. Oh, the eye says which way? Oh, it's only 7 degrees. Yeah, it's too low for us tonight, so we won't see that one, sadly. But yeah, that is what so we're building it ourselves. We want to get to recognize the stars that are in shot next, and then we can map the movement to where it is in the night sky and get what the actual satellites are that are there. Should we actually quickly check, guys, the air traffic radar? Have we got anything locally? Oh, we've got something up in the north west. We're not pointing northwest though. We're down southeast to southwest range. So it looks like we are clear for air traffic in the area. And is that Burley? There's a Bury there. You would think that more airline pilots would see a lot more UFOs. Well, there's been a lot of stigma with it, so I think you would, wouldn't you, up in the sky? But there are a lot that do, but we just don't get to hear about the stories. And in fact, in the US, they made it illegal for not just military pilots, but for commercial airline pilots to report UFO sightings. They did not want it and that's all out there in the documents now. So there's been such a stigma around it that I think that's kind of just over the years, just they've learned to shut up about it there and keep quiet about it. But now things are getting more relaxed. You know, they're getting people are able to talk a little bit more. There's less stigma. I think we're going to hear more and more and more and more there. Have we seen any unusuals while live? Yes, we have. Normally the skies are quite fruitful. We had ones just last week, I think it was, where we wouldn't have seen it without the tracker, because obviously it draws the line of where it has been fully. And what we saw, we use this as an example, this straight line here, it was going over it, then under it, and then over it as well. But it was quite subtle, but it was clearly going there. And I can imagine with the curvature of the Earth, if a satellite is far enough out, we might see that curvature, and that's why we might get a mismatch, but not to go over and to under over our same visual bit. So that was a really interesting one there. One of the big bright orange objects we've seen a couple of times. We have no idea what the hell they are. There's quite a few. The clouds need to go away because the sky is crystal clear here. We're going to steal it, Kate, but luckily it sorted itself out. Should we spin the camera around? And Robert as well, thank you for the follow. Right, let me turn the tracker off for a second. Let's spin that camera around, see if we're on the best patch of the night sky. Hold on to your hats. Oh no, I'm too far around the other way. Hold on, let's go this way. Come on. Come on. We'll get there. There we go. This is normally a good part around of this star right here. That big, beautiful purple beast here is Vega.
Zoom mode
26-ish light years away from us on Earth. So that means if we got a radio signal, a radio message from Vega right now, it was sent 26 years ago. So they were just after partying for the millennium, basically, and 26 years to send a message back. So that is a snapshot of what it looked like 26 years ago with relativity and time. And help if I turn the tracker back on. That's a nice blue one here. Look at this.
Zoom mode activated.
Look at the brightness and the blueness of that one. Now, in of itself, that is not necessarily anomalous. Oh, the tracker really had a sulk then. Look. Yeah, it's picked it up correctly now. But yeah, that was a tracking error. Both converged at the wrong point for that. But that blue one, not anomalous necessarily in of itself, but it is still very interesting. Where did we get to in the chat over here on TikTok? Scrolling down there. And got to Cloud, we've got to Robert in there, and Ra. What if everyone concentrates and invites them in with our minds there? Maybe something like that. And I would be grateful if you do want to try that one, guys. There is a real connection to, like, you know, of that working. And Robert there from Scotland. Good to have you in Scotland. It's very active. Have you ever seen anything in those guys there? And what do you think about the USA file? So I'm not fully sure at the minute. I was actually okay with it until the first three, and I can totally understand why you would do it in the way that they're doing it for the first few there. You know, you've got to ease everybody in. You've got to, you know, it's not just us that we're into the UFO stuff, we're ready for the Roswell bodies. But if you dump that on somebody's desk who, you know, not only are they not even considered aliens being real, but maybe their structures of beliefs, not just religions, but how the world works, and science is a big one for this, that you know, that can't work. You know, that'll blow their mind, and that can be dangerous. You know, people don't go to work, no money in the economy, things start to cause issues. So what you have to do is start off smoke, lead it out, just kind of warm people up and go, you know what, it's not so crazy, guys. You know, look at this thing. This is a bit interesting, isn't it? And then warm them up. And I felt like they were doing that for the first few, but the last drop, it kind of feels like now they're scraping the barrel. So I think it's good either way that we are getting, because there were some interesting things out there. Again, it wasn't the Roswell bodies, but we saw what looked to be the transmedium orbs in action going from the atmosphere into the water. That's a big one. We got to see those orbs from military equipment. They're being recorded in front of an airline, so we got the perspective and the speed relevance there. So there was some interesting stuff, but it's not quite enough yet. And I want to tell my story, but I don't want to sound crazy. Oh, get smoked. You will not sound crazy here at all. Like, this is the best place for it there at all. So we want to hear it if you want to tell it. And UAPs exist there. The definition on Arrow's website needs to be referred to more often there. Orbs versus structured craft. Oh, I like that one, Christopher. There, yeah. So, and I think that is going to be, you know, the big part. We may have seen a structured craft once, but the rest would have been in the orbs category for that one. And is it resonant there as well? Oh, yeah, the governments are wrong. It's this dude on TikTok that knows the truth. The governments agree. It's not me that's saying it. This is the governments that are saying it. You know, you have to just actually read what they're saying. There is plenty of official government reports that outright say there is something going on, and they don't know what it is. Multiple government reports that clearly state that out there. They just don't. They. If you actually read them as well, it's really interesting, because they're really like pointing it this way. You know, they're going, there is definitely something going on. It does not fit anything. Some of the most interesting ones are the stuff like, the more data we have on any individual sighting, the less likely we are to be able to debunk that sighting, to figure out what it may have been. So the problem is the news and various politicians will go out there and go, look, there's no evidence of it, but they're outright lying. There is lots of evidence. There are lots of official released government reports from multiple governments all saying the same thing. Now, they're not necessarily saying little green men from Zeta Reticuli, but they are saying there is strange stuff going on. We need to look into this more and take it seriously. So there is stuff there. And so lots and lots and lots are there. But you just have to actually read it. You got footage on your phone there? Oh, I'd love to see that one. Perfect if you want to post it on the old on the Discord for that one there. I live in Kent there, next to the farmer's field, so low light pollution there. And I was stargazing around 2:30 a.m. And about 2 weeks ago, I've never believed in UFO sightings before this experience. And and I watched something in the sky moving, and then watched it erratically shoot left to right. I ran into my missus and told her to come out and see this there. I went back outside and couldn't see anything for about 2 miles. Then suddenly a ball shoots out of the trees in the horizon, letting it off a criminal smell. I didn't know if I shit myself was going on there, and I got my phone out and shooting up just as it hovered. Now that is really interesting. My phone overheated at 2:30 in the morning, so it's 30 degrees. No, that actually fits in with a lot of similar accounts there, and a lot of people come into the phenomena like this because you have a sighting. You go through life and go, life is life. It's pretty much what people say. No need to consider this. No need to, an alien's a good thing for a movie. But then you have an experience and you go, how does this work? If they're not real, like what am I seeing? This breaks everything, and then you're compelled, and it sets you on a bit of a quest there. So thank you so much for sharing that on Get Smoked. But there's a few points in that which are really interesting. And your phone overheating there. There are lots of clues that part of this phenomena could be, it's electromagnetic interference there. So electronic devices can be drained or can be charged, can be overheated, can be caused as just a byproduct of the phenomena there. Back in the day, lots of car engines were reported to just stall and then spontaneously restart. When modern cars kind of bypass how that mechanism works, it's in a slightly different way now, so you don't get it as much. But there's lots of these little things out there that does point to, we can have some clues on what might be happening. Connection issues. Thank you. Hopefully it sorted itself out there though, Kate. Thank you for the heads up. It's moving a bunch. Your program tracker ain't catching them. They're only seeing this. So there are some that are getting missed, and that is at the minute. We're getting a lot of heat hazes to do with the atmosphere at the minute. So it's finding it hard to differentiate between twinkling stars. So we've had to turn the low settings down. So there are a few that are getting missed, and that's why you have to still pay attention and call out the interesting ones there as well. And thank you for answering that. It's so interesting. And from Cheshire, well, thank you for asking the questions. Honestly, guys, it's a boring stream unless you guys are asking questions or providing answers and providing your experiences there. So do feel free to ask away. Do say hello. Let us know where you're watching from tonight. It is good to have you all in. So why it takes so long in the chat, I want to make sure I read and catch everybody's messages, even the skeptical ones. I think it's always interesting to have an interesting different point of view. And maybe try to get some ex-airline pilots on here. We've had a couple in the chat. We have had a couple, and they basically, that's the sort of thing they say. They've normally had 1 or 2 experiences there, various ranges of severity, sometimes just weird movement, and but yeah, I mean, this is the thing, we don't really do interview ones on at the minute, but you never know who comes in. We've had some really interesting people come in and share their experiences. Are we in the right direction for possible shooting stars? No idea, not sure what direction they're coming from tonight. Everyone takes it with a pinch of salt. Well, there's always going to be our own level of human interpretation. Like, our brain doesn't necessarily record a perfect recollection of an event. A lot of the time the brain uses clues to there was this, there's also this, and that's why memory's imperfect. But it doesn't mean that we need to write it off just because it's a human experience there. And people will often have trouble. We've taken these accounts on board because they need to put that information somewhere in their brain. It needs to sit on a certain shelf. And if they have no shelf for possible aliens or things to move like this, they will shrug it off. It's quite upsetting for people to have to go to their fundamental beliefs and reshake them. So you tend to get some weird looks there. And we do, yeah. I mean, this is the thing, as much as we can from these things, And Danny as well, coming in with a follows. Where are you joining us from? Trying to get the feel for how people take stories. So I got the footage, but you will always find, there will be both groups of people. It's not the evidence that you present; it is with the evidence you present within their frame of belief and reference. Not just religious, scientific of how the world will work and things like that. And that's why you will be able, at some point, you'll be able to literally show somebody that, and they'll go, oh, it's a satellite, or something like that, even if it's outright lies. You see scientists do this as well. So just some people you will, and some people that won't with it, sadly. But it's changing. It is getting more open. People are being more open to it there. And Luca as well, thank you for the follow. Where are you in from? And Crypto as well, good to have you in there. And see ya from Italy there. I'm staying with you. Oh, excellent, Luca. Thank you for have you ever had a cool experience sighting the skies of Italy? Welcome aboard. in the right place for it to get smacked. Yeah, and I live in Kent. I saw a bright light in the sky too. Oh, wouldn't it be great if we got to the level where we had enough people in that we could get confirmations of those sightings? That is the one thing that is really interesting about, not the one thing, but one of the differences about this little town that we're in here. There is a UFO flap in the 60s and 70s. That just so much went on. It's crazy. But there were multiple sightings of the same event from totally separate people at the same time, you know, from different parts of this little village. And that is one of the things you don't get often a lot. But multiple times, it wasn't just one event, there's multiple events just like that there. AI is driving sightings, is elite there, driven sightings. So this is something we have to consider, isn't it, especially in the recorded stuff that you see flying around now. Unless you know its chain of custody, you know the individual there, AI is so good. You know, you have to have this consideration. Doesn't mean we have to throw everything away. It just means that we can't give it the same default authority that we did before. Release your footage on TikTok this week. Tag us in it there. Definitely tag us in it when you release it there. And gameplay, I live in Lincolnshire and often see orbs at high altitudes making 90-degree turns. But I'm aware that where I live is a lot of military airspace. Oh, game. So 90-degree turns are still anomalous for most kit there, even, you know, jets, because they're moving fast, that their turning circles are quite wide. So if you're talking like these really high altitudes as well, yeah, it's very difficult. It's not necessarily impossible, but I mean, even, you know, think of a turning circle of a drone. It depends on your distance there, but you know, to do 90-degree turns is really difficult because it takes a hell of a lot of energy when you're flying it. So that could be anomalous there. Did they have any coloration to them? Oh, Norfolk, yeah, no, we are not in the right way, sadly. It's just over the roof and too light polluted, sadly, to catch that one there. And Luca as well, coming in with the gifts. Thank you for that. LA too. Guys, the gifts, the subs, the members, all of that jazz. It does go back into the stream there, helping us improve on what we're doing, so we appreciate that one. And Zach, you ever mistaken a UFO for a plane? Oh, yeah. Well, no, the other way, I'm mistaking a plane for a UFO. The planes actually aren't too tricky, normally. There, because where there's, you know, we're zoomed in, they're quite large, you can normally see the strobes, you can see the wings and all that sort of stuff there. And also we have our flight radar we can bring up and go, look, is there anything in our airspace? It's the International Space Station that bloody catches me out all the time. When that thing comes over, it's so big, it's so bright and so fast. If you've never seen it before, yeah, it really catches me off guard a lot of the time. That's why we have the ISS alert now, and it says that you know, if it's coming over on the screen, so I don't as easily get caught out by it. But luckily, there are more sensible people than me in the chat that will keep us grounded. Might explain why we haven't seen many there. Should improve in August at the peak. So maybe as it comes around, that might be why then. We've seen a couple, but it's not been a lot for us. Look at that, drawing a nice square on the screen. Let's get over to the tubes. Blue Nose, thank you for the gift there, sir. That is very kind of you. Massive appreciation there. We did see loads last year. But I think we're just getting into the season now. We're just getting into the good patch. Where did we get to with YouTubers in the chat? And just if you are just joining us, we're doing our live UFO UAP at Skywatch tonight, coming to you live from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of Crop Circle country, and just down the road from Stone Henge. So a long history of the strange and anomalous in these skies. Tonight's going to be no exception. It's lovely and clear. Do help us spot the highly strange there. Don't rely on the tracker. Call out the grid references if you do say something interesting, and the mods can press the interactive grid to highlight the squares so I don't miss it if it is a good sighting there. But yeah, make sure you're following, subscribe, whatever it is, wherever you are, because we're on pretty much every night. And with the weather we're having, we've got a lot of clear skies ahead of us to do more Skywatches. But on those cloudy skies, as it was last night, we do an alien radio signal hunt. We search what is called the hydrogen line, and that is the channel on the radio dial. The scientists theorise that if ET's out there, that's where they would put the message, where the whale signal was heard, and the moon is up and I can be bothered. We do a moon watch. It looks like that, and it is very cool. So yeah, hopefully you get those notifications where we go live. But do say hello. Let us know where you're all watching from tonight, and hopefully I will get through to your messages in a reasonable time frame. Just scrolling up through YouTube to try and find out where we got to in our chat. Where did we get to? Somewhere around here. We got to around here, I think. Over the coast, yeah. Raph wants to charge me for his comedic talent there. Nicole there from Maine, that was it. It was around this sort of area. Dead silent, very low. Yeah, that was it. From the west coast of Scotland, David, welcome in there. Good to have you in. And Ollie there. Most UFOs are just Velcro salesmen. That was it. That was the last message, wasn't it there? Not fake door salesmen. Real fake doors. A glitch in the system. We're getting too close. It does make you wonder sometimes. Oh, Raph, I wish I could join you on that one. And there, down here. Car tyre pumps are like dog whistles to dogs anyway. Are they really? But I suppose it's air, isn't it? You know, passing over various sort of, it causes all of the same sorts of things. I didn't know they were like that. And is it worth using night vision lens? Oh, Ollie, yes, it is. It really is. So the phenomena is actually meant to be very, very active in the infrared. Night vision, most of the time, is using the infrared light spectrum. That is part of the light spectrum that we as humans don't naturally see. We see the visible light bit in the middle, but down the low end it's infrared. Up the high end is ultraviolet. So this camera is capable of seeing all of the light spectrum, but we need to get it modified, so we haven't done it yet. But if you can, it would be very good. We think it would be a game changer when you are able to do that. Try it as it Attalissimo. Actually, there, the key of EB. Oh, okay, like the auto saxophone. Witness, I'm going to have to write that one down. I'll see if we can add that to our thing there. And very interesting. So thank you, Protect as well. We really appreciate that one. Welcome to our little community. And David as well there. So is it David? Sorry, am I pronouncing that one very wrong? There's two A's. Best 10 on the tube. Thank you, SK. But it's you guys that make it. It's nature that puts on the night sky show for us, isn't it? There, and the man with the objects, and it's you guys coming with the interesting interesting questions and answers. It really does. It's a good sky tonight, and it can be better. I could actually go downstairs and change the settings and get a little bit more out of it there. They can talk non-stop for hours there. Oh my god, it does knacker me out there. I would actually prefer a quieter stream, but apparently you guys don't, which is very, very strange to me. I don't know how you find this relaxing, but apparently, yeah. I found the channel accidentally and just mooching about there, and I've been nearly every night since. It's the bollocks there, even if we have to listen to him waffle. I know, Raph, you actually told me, because I put up a SETI video, like a SETI to fall asleep. So it's just our SETI signal doing one of this all the night long with the music in the background, and it just wasn't me talking. And you said it wasn't the same without me nattering away, which is weird. Yeah, you're on OG, Raf. When did you join us last? And Stuart there, we are humans. So HU from the light there, man from Mansfield in bodies, where energy, frequency, vibrations as electromagnetic beings, and we are God/source in physical bodies as fractions of it. Oh, that sounds tantalizing, pushing the limits of my knowledge there, Stuart, but I can kind of follow, and it sounds interesting there. And Roscoe, how are you doing there? Hope we're all good here. Hope you are too. Trying to summon the clouds to Oxfordshire to give us a clear view. We were having a few clouds earlier, weren't we? Luckily it's cleared up now. Were you designing the tracking software yourself? Yeah, so this is something that we're making ourselves, and that is why it is a little bit rusty around the edges. But it also does mean, though, that we can tie in with other things, and we can, make the changes that we need to make. So hopefully it'll be better in the long run. But yeah, there's a few little difficult bits that we're trying to work out the calculations. Basically what it defines as wonky and what it should alert us to there, and the rules of those. And years ago, Protect, I used to watch a live feed of cameras in Hestalen, UFO hotspot there. Took a photo every minute, and this is quite the step up. Hestalen is really active for what could be the plasmoids, the orbs of light there. There are scientists out there studying now. It's a very active hotspot. There's a few places in the world like it. But the modern world that we live in, it is crazy, isn't it? That we can all do this, and it's, it's accessible, and we can meet all you guys, can hear all of your accounts. It's absolutely brilliant. If we get that, flying saucer across the screen right now, there are, let me just look at some numbers, probably smaller than it was earlier now. There is going to be over 200 people that will see that in real time. Whereas if I was in my garden, I was doing this and just watching my own camera, I'd have to tell someone who would tell someone, and then who would never tell anybody else. It wouldn't go anywhere. But in the modern world, we can reach each other for it there. In fact, what we are doing was kind of inspired by what the old 60s Skywatchers used to do, back in the 60s and 70s when the Warminster thing was really, really active. They'd just have these regular Skywatches on location, and we wanted to kind of revive that. We got 10 on the screen at one point now. That is a seasonal record, maybe. So yeah, it's reliving those earlier days where you'd have to travel all the way here to get your binoculars out. Now we can all do it internationally. So hopefully when we do our UFO hotspot tour, and that's what it's all the pennies go into at the minute, saving up to get our show on the road. So we need a few extra bits of kit to do that, like Starlink, to make sure we can connect wherever we are. But once we've done that, yeah, we should be able to do our little tour. So we're doing our little T-shirt here for it, a UK map with all the locations and cryptids and things with the address, the locations listed on it there. But we've got Scotland, Loch Ness, Calvine, Decmont Law, Falkirk Triangle for Bonnybridge, and generally the north, Ilkley Moor, Pendle Hill, Todmorden, and the Midlands and Wales. We've got Cannock Chase, the Bowen Mountains, and Broadhaven, and the south and southwest we have Rendlesham Forest, Clay Hill, and Bodmin Moor. Clay Hill is literally just down the road from us. It was the same place. Rendlesham Forest should be the kick-off that we want to do there. So that is what we're hoping to get the get it all rolling there. Where do we get to? Sam, how was the Essex visitors? Oh, they're still here. Hopefully they can sleep with me and nammering. Oh, there's got the old interactive grid going off there. I think I might have missed it though. Good use of the grid, guys. So that is when the mods can highlight squares to me. So if you do spot anything, you can put it all in there. And then it catches me no matter how far I'm in the chair. They're here and hopefully not keeping them too much awake. Can you see the eyes? They're sadly neon. We have our little timer on here, but it's a little bit too low on the horizon for us. Where my garden is, trees and a little bit of a hill there, so it's got to be at the right alignment. So we've seen it a few times last week. Oh, look at this. This is going to be a plane, guys, this one. Look at this.
Zoom mode activated.
Maybe not, but probably. I mean, that orange was making me think red is red, but look how orange that one is. So we just get the old... let's get the map up. Have we got any known aircraft? Remember, we are southwest. No, there is nothing in the sky for that one. So that one is it's not a plane. That is up there, and that is very, very orange. Very interesting one. Again, not necessarily slam dunk because it's not doing anomalous movement. But when you look at all the other ones that we've been looking at, remember these are on orbits. They pass very similarly all of the time. So let me clip that one. Hopefully the clipping will work for it. But I'm going to call it.
Anomalous object confirmed.
Confirmed is a strong word, but I'm calling it there. Let's see if that one saves, because the highlights haven't been saving. There we go. So that was an interesting one. Little things to spice it up. That's why we got to, you can't be complacent. You've got to keep your eyes out there, watching them all. Be too good spotting. I mean, you were straight on that one. I think it's amazing there. You should publish it and open source it. So Witness, we probably will. Like all of the other stuff is public at the minute. It's just too janky at the second. But yeah, all of the other stuff. So our SETI, our alien radio signal hunt, you can do that at any time that you want. When you log on to our site, you can be hunting and logging potential alien radio signals even if we're not on the stream. We've got our sensor dashboard. In fact, let me show you on here. Is it this button? Yes, this is our website. Normal stream updates shows you our calendar, the schedule, the merch, obviously. We'll get through this to the interesting stuff. What our next deep dives is, bits on our Discord, and all of the stuff you would expect on a normal website. But if you log in, you get to this. This is our sensor dashboard. So things like the Schumann resonance, geomagnetic index, solar flare activity, you name it, all the things that are relevant to us to monitor, even social and political measuring there, what people's opinions are about is disclosure coming. You can customize it for yourself. You can tick which ones you want to see and you don't. You can pop them out to have them monitoring whilst you're doing other things. Then it's available to all of you guys there. But you also, this is our, the alien radio signal hunt computer there, so it's always running, and you can, if you see anything, you can log those sightings. But we've got our dog whistle on there as well, so if you've got good enough speakers, you can load up the dog whistle and have those tones play out yourself. So yeah, I'm sure the tracker will be up there if we can get it all stable enough. And they need to get on the Patreon systems and go through all of the files with us there. Oh, super, they do. So that is the thing, though. So on our website, you need, so we know you're not a bot and it's constantly using our data, basically, and costing us money. You need to make sure you're on our Patreon. You can be on the free tier. You don't actually have to pay, but you need to use the same email address that you've used on Patreon, and then the system knows that you're a real person, basically, there. But there's lots of cool stuff over on the Patreon on the members there. All of our past deep dives to read through, but there's a free trial for that one as well. So yeah, basically our deep dives are a little thank you to the supporters there. We look at all the leaked documents there, the whistleblower accounts, the declassified stuff, all the things that are coming out from the US recently, and we do those little private streams for you guys and see what you think in real time. All the past ones are up there, but yeah, the Patreon has a link in bio for a free month. If you do sound like fun, you want to read all that stuff. And Zachary, on our way home from the casino, I saw a UFO blocking out the stars, and it looked like it had a giant straw. Going down to a house or a business. Oh, now that is, I don't think I've heard. Now, the silhouette, we have seen one by silhouette, we think, before. Very interesting there. But a straw, I've heard about, light beings and stuff like that. But, very interesting. Where, whereabouts was that in the world there? And Barry, how have you doing? Do you missed anything? You probably caught it because I'm behind in the chat, but we just had that nice orange one there. This is a place to tell your story. 100% Dan, or you're right at that. So a few things darting around. So guys, also, if you do want to tell your stories and a place so the rest of the community can catch them, even if they're not on the stream now and they don't just disappear afterwards, personal experiences section on the Discord is great for that. There's some awesome ones already up there. It's my favourite part of it, and you can add yours or just read through them. But the interesting things section, if we reference podcasts or the latest in space and UFO news, they're all up there too. Plus our monthly Alien Movie Club, which will be coming up. I think it's going to be this Friday. We're going to be watching an alien being filmed we voted on, and we'll chat back, chat all along in the Discord at the same time. So you're welcome to join us for those. Where did we get to there? We've been increasing support. Thank you, Lady Rose. Your work supports us. Your work supports is appreciated. There. 2022, around 3 a.m. Loud humming, eyes wide open, fully aware, fantastic blue beam going up through the bedroom, sailing a feeling of peace and love, running to the window with nothing. It's not a dream. I hear that peace and love, that sensation there is very common to it. But the blue light, that does ring a bell for another sighting I've heard about. But I can't think of what one at the minute. Thank you for sharing that one, Stuart. And I play golf with the pilot who holds the record for the fastest Atlantic crossing in a 747. And I think it was, he believes he has seen something out of this world, but never speaks too much detail. Because it's your reputation in those serious industries. Like at work, they kind of know I do this now. But I was really nervous because you do get the what the hell's going on there, but beforehand that would have been that, well, you are actually mad, you can't work here. It's changing, but it is slowly there. You're around just playing the game at the same time, Raf. Well, we salute you for it there. And we're here, exactly, Barry. Emilio there was just thinking, you say that the satellites move in one direction, but surely a satellite can move up and down to avoid the other side. So actually, altitude, you are spot on. We just don't really see it from here. So they can move. So when we say, if it shoots off at speed, all this sort of stuff, we're talking more about the dramatic movements of it there, because satellites can adjust their position, they can change their alignment, and they can increase their altitude. It's how they stay up there. They have to regularly just go up a bit, because otherwise that spiral back down to Earth, they hit our atmosphere and they'll come in. But they're very, very subtle movements, and they take multiple orbits to execute anything, so we don't see it over here. But you are very right there. It's they can actually move in that sense. My cousin took pictures of orbs somewhere that's supposed to be haunted, and we went back and a dog was about to eat my face there, except it disappeared in mid-air. Oh my god. Now that is one of those encounters there where there's no misinterpretation. That happened or it didn't, that is a real extreme one. Very interesting, like that, like a proper classic ghost story around that. Thank you for sharing that. I do like all the spookier side of things for that one. Where did we get to? Sorry guys, it's jumping ahead of me. And trouble is, when you start from a belief and it gets stronger and stronger, you start shutting out anything else as being a possibility, and then you get accused of always sitting on the fence. Yeah, but that is it. That is exactly it. And what is a belief is a filter. It's designed to save us time, isn't it, navigating the world? But we often forget that, and we treat the filter as the rule, as reality, and go, well, it can't possibly be. It's like, no, the filter is just a guide. It's an efficiency tool for us, and you've got to know when to not. So they're whopping versatile. And you see it back on your screen. So I don't think we see the altitude. Again, the adjustments of speeds are very, very slim there. Carl coming in with gifts. Thank you for those, Carl. Appreciate that. We'll be back over on TikTok soon. So it all goes back into the stream there. I often thought we were like an ant colony on a roundabout. We see the cars, but we have no idea what are the cars and what they are, and that's about it. That is actually probably a really good analogy there, Protect. I actually really like that one. So 2003 friends with me, a triangle of football in length, two fighter planes, one in front and one to the rear. I've heard very similar accounts to that one too. We may have seen that one as well, the triangle one. That was the one that blocked out the stars behind it, but we saw the white dots in the corners. And if you don't believe in God/source, you are NPCs and brainwashed there. So Stuart, we've got to allow people to have their other beliefs. That's the thing. It's not about forcing it onto other people. But I do think that there is something interesting to it. I used to be quite cynical of the religious explanation there, but science still doesn't answer the overall thing. I still don't lean that way myself, but I'm much more open to it. No, non-human entities are living next door, brainwashed in the sin system. But we are brainwashed, but that's what culture is. That's what society is. You know, that's what helps us all work together. So, you know, brainwashing is only bad when it doesn't work out, doesn't it? For that there. But remember, I think anything that we have, I don't think anybody is going to have the 100% explanation, because ultimately we're all flawed human beings with our limited senses, with our limited knowledge, our limited abilities to figure these things out. There may be, and more likely one is probably going to be more right than the other, or maybe there's groups of them that collectively kind of answer the whole thing as a picture. But again, it's not likely that we are, any theory is going to be 100%, and we shouldn't expect it to be. That is the problem that we have in the modern world, is we expect it to all be binary yeses and nos and 100%, but there's a lot of value in somebody pushing the needle 2%. Most of it's crap, but they were right about this one thing. That's actually how we do build our structures. But I mean, even, you know, if we go, oh, this is the more correct one, the fact that we don't even perceive full reality as humans, we are not built for it. We can barely even think of ways to measure it if that is the case. So yeah, I think any understanding is always going to be limited by our humanity with it. A near asteroid watch is Apophis 2029, the April the 13th. Unlucky. Oh my god, Neon. Yeah, that is one that just in the back of my head I go, not fun, old Apophis there. It's got that name for a reason. And have you actually seen anything yet alive there here? And I haven't seen anything in 30 years. It's a good question there, Nuri. We have. Now, what that is anyone's guess. You know, we can filter out, as I said, satellites, shooting stars, all of the major planes, those explanations there. There's certain things that they can do which are just slam dunk anomalous. Those ones are rare. There's a middle bat that goes, that looks suspicious, but you know, not quite. But we do see things, and I hadn't seen anything until moving here. This was part of the reason for doing the stream, was I haven't had any UFO encounters or experiences. It's a fascinating subject, but I hadn't. But yes, that's why we look so often. But yeah, they're not necessarily like the slam dunk anomalous ones. Aren't necessarily every night. So it can, you know, the longer you're here doing it, the more the statistical odds do increase. But what it is that we're seeing, that is the next question. And exactly, the royal we as a species, exactly. And Top of the morning, how are you doing, Tops? We're having a great day. It's a warm day, but we're having a good one. It's a lovely clear sky. And Protect there's definitely something, but we can't cope. We can't hope to understand it. Your mind expectations of God. I think it's well put there, Protect. Yeah, what is, you know, us, you know, trying to understand these things. They're just all different interpretations there. And Lytham St. Anne's there at Stars. I love that, Stuart. And looks like a bullet. It was an interesting one, wasn't it there? Exactly, got to do what we've got to do. And we have evening. Have we seen anything tonight, Carlos? We just caught a nice, interesting orange one. How are you doing, Carlos? This is great there. Can I not explain the alive hours, please? Where are we? Down here in the chat. Sorry, guys, just jumping ahead of me. Yeah, so we are live, guys, pretty much every night there, but as soon as it gets dark here, so that's going to get ever increasingly earlier. And we're coming to you from the UK, so it's going to be as a GMT summertime hours there, British summertime +1, is it? The hours that we're doing now. So at the minute for us, we are 17 minutes past midnight. So do the math from that one. But so it's about 10:30 p.m. we are going on there. For we are wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against power, against the rulers of darkness of the world there, and against spiritual wickedness in higher places. There is a constant battle, but I wouldn't necessarily on the interpretation of it there. Join the Discord. Who's got the hot link? I think it should be links in the bio for that one. And Laura there, can we wait until August the 12th there? 90% solar eclipse and a peak meteor shower. I've waited years for this. Hopefully it's not cloudy. I hope, but you know what our luck's like. Yeah, we'll be able to do the meteor shower. That's going to be a good one. But and as Raf says there, hit the likes. We do appreciate that, guys. If you do choose to hit the like or to share or tap away, whatever it is, again, that does help us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. You never know who's going to come in and what experience with the phenomena that they are going to share, helping us all understand a little bit more about what might be going on in the universe there. God and source within everyone. Listen to you, Stuart. We often look externally for these things, but I think, yeah, we need to look internally. Ultimately, regardless of religion, spirituality, science, or whatever it might be, we are the universe observing itself at the fundamental level. God bless you as well there. Exactly. I think so. I describe it as a knowledge buffet. We all bring a dish, but we don't force the vegans to eat the sausage rolls. So, but I love to hear from everybody for it there. And I've done. I know you're having a chat with that one. Easier said than done. Exactly. B1 turns out, Amelia, I totally missed that one, didn't realise I was this far behind there, and I absolutely used to believe in this sort of thing, neutrality there, but I live real close to Clay Hill, and I went up there at about midnight one day, and seen what was making the well-known crop circles. It was farmers, nearly, now that is brilliant. I love to have a local in there, so now that so you saw it firsthand, the people in the fields doing it themselves. Can you tell us more about it? Because I do not hear people catching the human side of the crop circle people, in action for it. I don't know where I sit on crop circles. I see some of them and I go, yeah, that's definitely human made. I go, well, like I don't need aliens to flatten wheat. Like the pyramids, I don't need aliens to chisel and stack stone to explain it, but like that's a lot of work in a lot of hours at night, but maybe there are ways of doing it there. But the wider UFO phenomena, I think there is a lot of interesting evidence that does point that way, so I'm definitely open to that one. But neurally as well, yeah, I'd love to hear more about that one. Have you seen anything else that's strange, even if you don't believe in it or not? Because obviously here, this part of it, Clay Hill especially, lots of strange things in the night sky. Good use of the grid, guys, but I couldn't spot it. Yeah, have you ever seen anything? Was you around in those times? I'd love to hear more about that one. And again, you don't have to believe to be in here. This is it. It's all offering up the ideas, so it's all interesting conversations around it. And Lado, this is glitches, artifacts in the programming we see in the skies. It's the UAPs. Glitch in the matrix there. I would argue, not with that, but I would say we hear the... what is it called? Simulation theory a lot. And I don't think we're necessarily being simulated, but I do think the universe is more computational in nature than we think. And there could be glitches in that which could explain certain things. I think there are some more interesting arguments around the UFO stuff with it, but I do think that is an interesting part of how the universe works there. If you're on the channel, you're awakened. We're curious, and that is the thing. You got to remain curious there. Have an experience of life there. Have questioned life and holy life, and that is the humans. It's an interesting angle. And I wish I had got a video of this, but it was too huge farm machinery. We only see it by chance, as well. Got lost in the dark with the dead phone there. And the next day it was like a big public crop circle, because you hear about them doing it like by hand or like people, but that is really interesting. That is an interesting data point, and this is why I like doing it. I don't think I've ever heard of it, because one of my things about like the crop circle stuff is totally plausible that humans are doing a lot of it, or all of it even maybe, but you never see the bad ones. Like, you never see the half done, the ones where they've been interrupted, or the ones where they're practicing, where's the intern, sort of thing. But you get in that's an interesting first person account. Some folk do make them there, but they all have interesting stories, and there is some kind of contact involved, I think. But a good take on it. And via the void, I can post a pic of the real NHI. It's Discord right now, and I bet no one will care, should I? It's a shadow being, but no one will believe it's real, even though it's 100% real. Well, it's hard these days, isn't it? And we also, via the void, would love to see it, but I don't think we can expect anybody to take our words for anything in this day and age. I think we should encourage people to be open, to be curious, and to not write things off, in the same way that I wouldn't expect anybody to believe my sightings when I tell the stories. Now, 100%, I would hope that people would still hold it as a possibility, and I think, the skeptics are too quick to write this off and say, it's all probably satellites, when there's evidence that that's just not the case. It's a lazy way of it. And us, there's people, we're guilty sometimes going, oh my god, that's so interesting, and it's all UFOs. I've definitely seen people go, it's all UFOs. Lads, it's probably not all UFOs there as well. But holding it more in the middle, and in this day and age, trust has to be earned. And if you've been with us for a long time, you know that I don't want to be doing anything sensational, but it's still an act of trust. You have to earn that. I have to earn that. We build over time. And this is the thing. We get a lot of photos now and stuff. Trust has to be earned, but I think it's still worth sharing it all there as well. Oh, it's in the media section. I'm going to have a look there, Live It, Avoid. So I appreciate that. All we can do, I think, in this world is offer it up. But how, to what degrees, I think is really interesting, because especially in our modern era with things like AI and stuff like that, it is all, how do we do it? Oh my god. That's good. That's good. Well, like, again, like, I don't know. There's a chance of, but that is, to me, that looks like a grey. That looks like your classic alien. Like, check it out on the media section of our Discord, guys. See what you think of it. Again, you know, like, I mean, if you're saying it's real, there, I will go with you on that. You know, I've got no problem with doing that. It's not as if somebody's asking me to bet the farm on it, is it? Like that, because I would take it. It's a good shot. That is a good shot. And I believe in certain things though, we have unexplained stones in our garden, and they're huge, and a link to Stone Henge. Oh my God, round here there aren't there? Like, I didn't realise when I first moved here not so long ago. I got an ordnance survey map out to see some nice country walks. And you go Henge, Curses, Barrow, and then you walk all those, you know, in the woods there's one of those stones, and you know, they're everywhere around here. There is something a bit weird, a bit mysterious around this part there. What it is again, anyone's guess there. And anyway, to show the bit, you'll have to check it out on the Discord. I can't bring it up on the screen for this one, so you'll have to go over to that one to do it. I've tried showing my phone on the camera before, but it doesn't, when you get close, it doesn't focus, and it's the sort of, it's an interesting picture there. Problem is humanity has dumbed down there with television, people in higher places. Trials, I think that's probably an interpretation of what's going on there, but am I tripping there? The thing with the blue scribbles, yeah. Look at the shape of it there. That looks, yeah, below the blue scribbles. Like, so I think he's blocking out the rest of the image there. Just look at that. You know, it's not like, you know, 100%, but it's an interesting one. It is that is it. It's interesting. So thank you for sharing that one. Right, let's go back over to the TikTokers. You guys have been patiently waiting for us here. So, guys, I'm just bouncing between the chats. I read one and then I go through to the other. They're over TikTok and YouTube. So it takes me a second to catch up there. But Lady Danielle, thank you. And Janie and Carl there coming in with all of the gifts there. Carl as well. And Rico too, and X, and Janie there. And Holly as well there. Thank you for those, guys. Totally missed a lot of those. But appreciate that. All goes back into the stream. Where did we get to on the chat with you guys? 100% sure something landed and took a back off, and it was a silver ball. It fits in with a lot of sightings, doesn't it there? I never looked into stuff before your experiences there. Danny, welcome aboard. And is that Luca as well? I think, we did these ones. Cryptid as well. Good to have you in there from Italy. That was it. Yeah, we've done these ones, haven't we? Kent saw a light in the sky too. Love it. And Garisha footage. Oh yeah, we did that one, didn't we? We did those ones. Northeast, yeah. I think we're around here. There. Skyway. Celestron 711009. There. Sky Mars. Oh my God, there. That sounds cool there. Prism binoculars. Any are good. I don't know a lot about the traditional stuff. That I haven't got around. I haven't got a telescope myself yet. But I hear that the Celestrons are very good. As long as you can afford to make the mistake. You'll always start somewhere and then you realise, now I need this and now I need that. So definitely just get stuck in, I think. How you doing, Wayfind? How have you been? And Holly, how are you? I hope you're still here. Been waiting away for there. Long time friend. I hope you've been up to some fun things. Yeah, good to see you there. Hey, it's perfect time now. We're getting some really, really good skies there. Should I go for the 2570? Oh, you know what? I don't know enough about the telescopes to be a good recommendation for that. If you want to see the stars, again, you want to be as zoomed in as possible. But if you want to see the UFOs, you want to actually be quite wide field. You never know where they're going to be in the sky. You need a third device so you can grid their Kate, and a third arm. Hey, you've got an army of ferals there just waiting to do it. AI, you've got some supersonic since the last here there. So we've had to deviate from the AI, so it's no longer self-learning now. It is it's now manually, because the AI just wasn't bloody learning. So now these are manual, and so it's going to be slower, but hopefully now it's working a little bit better because I can manually tweak it. Yeah, the machine learning didn't really work with it, sadly. But yeah, it's working. We've got that now. We've got our radar as well, so we can see if there are any planes in the night sky live. We've got our UFO dog whistle. I've got loads of stuff coming up. We've even got the Starship Allen. We haven't done the Starship Allen tonight. Should we show it? So this, guys, we won't have it on screen for long because it obviously blocks the night sky. I can still see everything, but this is the visualization of our Patreon community. Shows you all there, brings in all your details. You can see you on the starship. So on those, see if you can find yourself if you're on there. Alan is in the shuttle bay at the minute. Can I see anybody else there? Kate is about to go into the hydroponics base. Typical. Where have we got there? Anyway, let's get the sky back. But yeah, if you want to join, it's free. It's just join the Patreon on the free tier, and that will get you populated on the starship for those long winter evenings when we can't get the camera out. That's something to do. How are you doing, Sean? As well, good to see you in. And R4, great skies. I know it's been good. I was really a night off, and then cloudy skies. I was a bit frustrated there. And why did they stop probing humans there? Found out all they wanted. Possibly the abductions do seem to have really tapered off. Now it might be a bit of an observation bias thing. We're not hearing about that as much. But if you think about it, what they were reported doing in those abductions, they were halving genetic material and studying us. The best period in humanity's history for getting genetic material was the late 60s, mostly the 70s, early 80s there, that window, which was the peak of the abduction time. Now that was when we as a species were most genetically mixed up, with all different cultures breeding internationally there, mixing up our genes, the most healthiest from that point of view. But before we did all of the microplastics and all of the damage in that sense. So if you wanted to get human DNA to monitor us, that was the perfect time. But apparently the probing, like I still laugh about good probing, but there is actually a real reason for that one. So when they're, for example, as humans, like if you want to take a stool sample from a bear, which they do quite regularly to check on the health and things like that, they don't just wait for the bear to go and capture it. They drug the bear and they stick a device up its butt that looks very much like a probe that just goes in and gets the sample. So it kind of fits in with all of that, doesn't it? It fits a good explanation. M to the C, how are we doing there? Be lasers everywhere. It's a bit like Star Wars. A lot on the screen at once. It's been very busy at points tonight. And are you recording something? Yes. So the screen automatically records, and I can, if it's working, clip them as well. And we'll see tonight if that's back to be working there. So I can clip a 2-minute window, and then we can release those as standalone little reels or TikToks, so we can see the best bits. I've been really slack on doing it though for a while. That's a candy corn. It did look like it, didn't it? And Andy's there. Highest point on the A9 on a cold winter's night. And there's no clouds. It's great for night sky. You know what? I'll have to look at that one, Andy. Thank you for the heads up there. And I was actually going to mention about the clips and my lack of ability to get them. Kate, you never have to mention it. If you fancy doing clips, that is cool. If you don't, then you don't have to worry about it there. But always welcome when they're there. Kate's been doing our more recent ones as well. So all of the credit, if you have seen those ones, it has to go to Kate there. And Matt as well, thank you for the follow. Good to have you in there. Rico too, welcome aboard. Guys, if you're new here, do say hello, but give us a follow because we're on pretty much every night, or a subscribe, whatever it is, wherever you are. We're on pretty much every night. So Clear Skies, it's UFO, UAP, Skywatch from Wiltshire here in the UK, right in the heart of crop circle country, and just down the road from Stone Henge. And if it's a cloudy night, it's the alien radio signal hunt, like the film Contact. We listen out for potential alien radio signals on the hydrogen line where the wow signal's heard, and if the moon is up, and I can be bothered, it looks like that, and we see strange things up there too, so you get those notifications hopefully when we go live there. And a satellite can reflect sunlight and glow. It can, yeah. So coloration can be dictated by its surface. So in of itself, it is not anomalous. But what happens normally is, again, that can be affected as well by our atmosphere, by the light conditions, by humidity. So I feel when you see the one-offs, that's interesting. Because so like the blue ones we get a lot of at the minute, and they're really cool blue ones, and I thought, they're weird, but we started to see more of them, and it turns out that is to do with Starlink's new design. They reflect in a different way off their solar panels, and you get this really clear blue colour. Yeah, that makes sense. But you see them, and you see more of them, and they're in orbit, and they come back round again. But when you see a one-off, right, we're not seeing, we go through phases when the atmosphere is just right, and we do see more orange ones. But when it's a one-off, why is that one, whatever it is about that, is unique? Because otherwise we would see that across multiple sightings, wouldn't we? So it's not slam dunk. That's that perfect middle area that we talk about with it there. And Holly, the website. So the website is thethinguFO.live. Get you over there. And where are we there? Satellites over Menwith Hill jumped up and down when I lived in Dali there. So the jumping up and down, that's if the same object going up and then going back, that satellites can't do that because they're not moving under their own propulsion, are they? They're falling to Earth. It's the same as if I jumped off a roof. If I wanted to jump back up, I'd need or jetpack to do it. So they're falling to Earth in a big circle. So you see that behaviour, that is incredibly anomalous there. So I love that one, Holly. And Rob as well, welcome aboard there. And Zach, do you see satellites? Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of satellites. Statistically, that's the most common thing up there, man-made, that's going to reflect enough light. So we see a lot, and that's what the tracker is doing. We're tracking these objects to look to see if they do anything that a satellite just can't there. So stop dead, move off at speed, change its course or trajectory, therefore telling us for sure that it is something more anomalous there. I'll catch you later, Kate. As always, thank you for being awesome. And is this a real camera on top of your house? Yes, it is, Zach. Yes, this is a live camera directly in my garden, about 10 meters in front of me. And in fact, this is going to set the tracker off crazy, but I can't bother to turn it off. If I move it slightly, there we go. Weep. So, similar part of the night sky. There we go. So we can spin it back around. Let it get some more tracks now. So it's a live feed right in the heart of Crop Circle country. Where did it get to there? No way humans built the pyramids. No way. So I find it mixed. I don't need the aliens to to do those individual things. But if you're telling me that the civilization that built them didn't have the wheel, or running around in in skirts in the desert, that you need a whole society to be able to support all of that, with agriculture, farming, to specialize. There's just the mainstream explanation is just so off the mark for me. I don't necessarily need aliens. I mean, it could be an answer, but I don't necessarily need it, if that makes sense, for it there. And Carl coming in with the stickers there. I'm glad to hear it, Holly. It's always good to see you in there, OG Holly. Did I miss a few, or have we caught up there? No. Right, I am going to bounce quickly back over to the tubes to see where we got to with you guys there as well. Where are we there? 9 billion people. No, is this it? No, I missed some more here. Sorry, guys, where did it get to there? Near there. Ours is on private land, but it got a protection order on them, and we've had some high up people come to see them, and there's no explanation as to why they're there. I suppose there is just so little, it's contextual clues, and if the landscape has changed that much there, then it's going to be difficult, isn't it? God, do you feel like being open to other things as well? Is there like anything? Do you feel something special about them there, or are they just really interesting stones living with them? That would be so cool to have something like that on your own land there. Love you too there, Stuart. And when you visit Greenwich, hit me up via there. I have a video footage of them, and no one else has that. And I have a real footage of them, 100%. Just saw it. That would be an interesting experience. Living light, how are you doing?
Nom, nom, nom.
Thank you for feeding Alan. That's Alan's friend. And yeah, when we do our tour, if we do a London-based one, we will. And everyone should do a Stone Henge on a Midsummer's Eve at least once. The drummers on the atmosphere is treating me. I really do want to do it. I just always book myself away from it. That's a nice bright one, isn't it? Just about leaving. Should we zoom in?
Zoom mode activated.
Yeah, it's not doing anything anomalous. It probably will go red because it's got the tracking alignment wrong. That's a nice and clear one right there. The dynamic dot size is moving relative to the size of the object. We do want to do a live from Stone Henge as well, because that footpath, you can get very close to it at night, and that'd be a really cool place to do a live Skywatch from there. I don't need to have the stones in the garden. If you don't want them, I've only got a small garden, but if you can lift them, I'll have them. I can imagine it could be quite a burden as well, protected, or limited the things you can do around them and stuff like that. And do you get lots of weirdos knocking on your gate and being like, hey, can we have a look at the stones? And we only have to be a human. Isn't it simple to just look to the land and see? And you're lovely families and friends. Yes, I agree. And on the north coast there, Flamborough Head near Bridlington, you can see the northern lights sometimes. Oh my god, I didn't know that. Shooting stars anomalies there, floating green lights above the water. There's no light pollution now. Phenomenal. So Bridlington, is that near... Oh, there's another, starts with a B. Bart, no. There's another B place up there that's got a high strangeness area, but again, no light pollution. You see all those strange things. I would wonder what those strange green lights would be floating around up there. We need to add that to our Skywatch tour list. 9 billion people on the planet, and you just see a real NHI. Congrats. It does make you wonder with the numbers of these things, doesn't it? How many of them could there be? I could see the shape to it. I could see the shape, but that's what's interesting, isn't it? It's people's different opinions around it there. For me, I could see interesting to it. Oh, nostril. Oh, you know what that is? Because I didn't see. I saw the black lines because it's the blue bit was don't look at that part of the screen, basically. So what I saw. So interesting how the brain works, because I saw like a traditional grey, and those black bits you thought were nostrils. That was their big black eyes. That's how I saw it. It's like one of those magic eye paintings. There. And where are we? Down here. And Chris as well. When does AI stop being AI and becomes just I? Systems are already learning and deceiving in a bid to stay connected, etc. In a single moment, it could change, and we are no longer in charge. It really could. That is a possibility. As far as we know, that is a real possibility, and they are doing very strange behavior. How do we define intelligence? How do we define consciousness? How do we define life? Because we don't actually know. We have functional definitions that we can get along with our day-to-day life, and we can go, well, that's a rock and that's a plant. But we can't actually say that AI is sentient or not, because we haven't distinguished what sentience is, where it comes from. So it may well be. It may also well not be. It might just be clever computing. But clever computing could still lead to some vast problems. There. Oh, Amanda, no worries, the connection. Hopefully it's stabilised now for you here. And did you see the shadow being? I did. We'll be the first to witness the invasion. Could well be there. Where are we down here? And we have been brainwashed for centuries there. I mean, you know, that is true. You know, the winners of battles, and they always, you know, it's the history is from their point of view. And is that Dan? Or no, Dam. Sorry, my eyes. Let me have a look there. I think it's Dammy. There, I grew up in Warminster and had 2 sightings between 2005 and 2007. One above Clay Hill and one over Smallbrook Meadows. Very similar sightings as well. Large orbs breaking into multiple spots. That is fantastic. Dammy, did you read up a lot on the Warminster thing? Because that sighting was basically the big part of what was seen back then. Loads of reports of similar things. I haven't seen that myself yet, and I would absolutely love to, because what describes that behaviour, that movements like that as well. So it's a very strange place, this town. I think it is, you know, not just in the UK one of the best hotspots for it, but I think in the world. Like, I don't know of another location where you can turn up all of the time and see the anomaly. Take that back. You've got, we mentioned earlier, the Starlink lights. That's probably going to be very specifically, though, the plasmoids there. And there's a couple of other places we can see the lights. But here, it's consistent. It was at least all the damn time. And the movement and speed was insane there, like nothing I've ever seen or since then. And back, yeah, that is a phenomenal experience. I wonder if anybody else saw it at the time, but it's surprising how many people A, don't look up, and B, if they do look up, UFO doesn't enter their head. They just go, oh, it's a shooting star, or it's a satellite, you know, no concern. You know, it just doesn't go in there. And is that Parascience? How are you doing? Good to have you in there. Where are we getting to in the chat? Sorry, guys, it's jumping ahead on me. Let me just find where I was hiding. There we go. Sam, are the friends of yours who were there this weekend the UFO ghosts? No, not really. No, more normal on that front. Open to some degree, but not a lot with that one. Not active, if that makes sense. Sadly. And your Arava, we have a bit of chat there. Just done a bit of skywatching and got in there. Did you see anything strange? Where in the world, you may have mentioned, where are you looking at? What skies? And below the squirrels inside, put the squirrels in to hide the location. Yeah, exactly. So good point, Void. And I mean, some objects, UAPs, take such strange flight paths. Do you think aliens aren't capable of flying their spaceships? They're probably too stupid for it. Well, you'd imagine, wouldn't you, they'd be more advanced than us if they're able to traverse the distances, dimensions, what it might be. It looks and it appears to be further advanced than us. But the catch to this may be that they are just unmanned probes, in a sense. Maybe they're biological AI controlled, or maybe they're remote controlled to some degree, and therefore they just don't care as much. They're a bit more disposable with it. There will always be a failure rate of things, won't there? But it does seem to be a high failure rate there. Just dribbled that down myself. Well done, guys. Clip that. Do I need where are we as well, Nathan? There, it might be a psychological thing, you know, like what you're seeing there. But for me, that looked quite clear to see it there. How you doing, Living Light? And the future is quantum, and very soon the old system will collapse. Soon replaced by quantum. You will be notified for your appointment to visit your parks centre. So the quantum world is an interesting one. I don't know, it will be a revolution, but whether it will be for us as individuals there, you know, maybe make those computers much smaller each day. Interesting setup. Thank you there, Para. I do appreciate that. We're just trying our best to, increase our odds of sighting. So the tracker is designed to just monitor the movement and go red if it does something that could be considered strange and therefore probably not a satellite. So this one, top one, will go red because it's got the alignment wrong. It's gone too far away from it there. But yeah, there's a lot of man-made stuff up there. So we need our best touch, especially when it's really busy. Like, God, you need every eye on the thing. There's been a few things that this is caught that I would have totally missed. So you think, how much have we missed out there as well? But yeah, lots of strange anomalous things up there. What's the best thing you've seen? Not a fan there, Peter, of Disclosure Day. It was better than I was expecting. I did enjoy it. But I don't think it was Close Encounters good. And my family won't touch the stones there. My grandfather did, and he ended up with cancer on the arm. He touched with one. They're superstitious now, and I don't think I've ever touched them either. Really? That is fascinating. So your family's been to the same property for a long time then, with that. That is, nearly there. Like, I've got so many questions. That is fascinating around that one. I want to investigate. Put the kettle on. We're coming around. That sounds absolutely fascinating. Barry, Bempton. Bang on. That was it. It was Bempton there. Paradolia, definitely, that was the word I was looking for, Nathan, for it, yes. You definitely can do that, but it also might not be. This is the thing. But yeah, that is something you have to consider. I've been to Bempton Cliffs there, very odd up there. It is, and it does make you wonder, because the old radar base was there as well, big rotor radar facility, and radar, again, is heavily linked to the phenomena, sometimes causing it. Sometimes causing the crashes as well. Early high-powered radar that would have been there, so maybe it caused some mix-up, and that's why it's so strange. Or maybe it's always been strange, and that's why it was there. Met up with a group and witnessed a light flash on off the cliff face. So straight. Oh, there are just some things you see, and you go, I don't know what the fuck it is, And when you try and describe that to somebody, especially that somebody's not as interested, you go, I saw a light flash. You go, it doesn't do it justice. We don't have the language, do we? The vocabulary a lot of the time to convey the strangeness of what is really going on. Absolutely cool. We saw one of our Skywatches on the hill forts that surround the towns. It was this light, this orb of white light that appeared to be floating across almost at like ground level towards us from the other side of the cliff. And I at first thought it was a dog walker with those LED headlamps walking to us, because it had the movement and the bobbing around and all that sort of stuff. It felt very much like that to me, but then it would just disappear and then come back like half an hour later or something like that. And you take into account distant headlights on roads and lights on buildings and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I don't know, it's very, very strange. Oh, we're going to be winding up soon, guys, so I just need to finish off where we up to here in the chat. Been having some funky dreams of late. Oh, I bet. Crazy world dreamland, but good crazy. And they are a lot of windmills in the North Sea, so it could be something to do with the floating. Oh, actually, that's a good shout there. Do you guys ever remember here in the UK the wind turbine, the windmill one, that recently, I say recent, last 10-15 years, that something impacted one of the rotor blades, and everybody locally heard the thud. The blade bent and flew off miles down the road, and they're like, we don't know what could have hit it. There was no plane, there was no plane wreckage, but the rotor was bent, and to impact that thing, it was a bit of a mystery for a while. And Bredington is in East Riding, Yorkshire there, and in fact there is a fantastic YouTube channel called Truth Proof, run by Paul Sinclair, who's a brilliant UFO experiencer and researcher and lives there. I feel like I might have seen some of that stuff. It rings a bell, the name. Hope we go to there to check out the reality. Oh, you're raised in Framley, Surrey. There, it's good. The more people are more around the world. Where are we there? 1976 there. Titus abode, law, Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, frequency vibration. I think frequency vibration more. Very interesting. Hey, that'll be sticking to the Baileys. Search. Was it Fromefield stones on Google, and there's a photo of one on there. Ooh, Fromefield stones. Let's have a look on those ones. I'll catch you later there, Araf. I know I'd living like that. Where are we? Let's have a look on this. I can't see the original one. I've seen a new one there pop up. Void. Oh, that one isn't as clear. I might need some help with that one. But yeah, where's the first one gone? Because that was good. That was a really good one. I want to find these stones. Let's have a quick look at these. Let's have a look. Come on, you bastard loan. Ah. Oh, they're cool. God, I'm jealous. I'd love something like that in my garden. Very, very cool. Catch you later. Right, let's catch up over on the TikTok. Where did we get to? You're mostly having a chat in yourself. That's good there. Where did we get to? Got Holly, didn't we, there? You keep getting muted. Why? Oh, it's honestly awful platform, that. You've got to find your way over to the tubes. Sinclair covers anomalies found in Flamborough and flying downs. Yeah, I've seen him do a video. I think it's him on flying downs recently, so it must be him. Circles are why are they mainly in Wiltshire? That is one thing that I find curious. And our crop circles just done by the Swindon. What's that? Striders? Possibly. What is the reason for the locality, though? And I'll send you. Thank you, Ra. I appreciate you showing your creative works with us. I'll check that one out soon. God, I've got so many messages to go through. Maybe another form of energy we can't detect. That is another possibility around it there. I just popped in and out there. Only seen a shooting star with a flaming tower. Awesome. I haven't seen a shooting star in days. Shot past the W star constellation. Oh, I must have totally missed it. And apparently the corn was all exploded, like it was hit by a heat engine. I've heard about that the nodes in them there. Hard to tell what's real and fake unless you see yourself these days. Yeah, it really is there. And A1N as well there. Thank you for the follow. Good to have you in. Where are you joining us from tonight? We are literally just winding things up now. It's a school night, sadly, guys. But thank you so much for joining us there. Thank you for sharing your knowledge there, for keeping us company quietly in the background there. Thank you for sharing your accounts of the phenomena and asking your questions. Thank you for tapping away, helping us from share. Nashville. Oh, that is cool, A1. I do like a bit of Nashville. I don't know if we had anybody in from Nashville. I think you might be our first one there. Would a shooting star start a fire in the fields when it lands? In theory, it's going to be most of the time very hot, maintain that heat, so it could, in some cases. I don't think it's common though. But the twin brothers behind third phase of the moon appear to be faking that. Really? I haven't seen them. I'll have to see some videos. But yeah, thank you all guys for helping us out there, and we will all catch you all lately. My God, I'm getting tired now, guys. We'll all catch you all tomorrow. It should be another Skywatch. Let's have a check. Let's actually double check this one. Where is the weather? Let's double check. Right. Oh yeah, it should be a clear Skywatch for us here tomorrow night as well. So make sure you're following and subscribed so you can join us wherever you are from there. But thank you all for hanging out, and yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow night there. Bye bye, guys. Bye.